Free Fire!
Barba in there taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan. Vigilantes not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalata, who's next, is going to get a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lafred seeing them finally try to see if they actually get another one. Here we go. Gets the kills. Finally getting.
Free Fire!
Barba in there taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan. Vigilantes not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalata, who's next, is going to get a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lafred seeing them finally try to see if they actually get another that. Here we go. Gets the kill. Finally gets.
Free Fire!
Barba in there taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan. Vigilantes not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalata, who's next, is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving to it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lafre seeing them finally try to see if they actually get another one. Here we go. Gets the kills. Finally gets.
Yeah, welcome back, guys, for the Free Fire Philippine Open. And while Cuckoo is getting back on track, hopefully you had a good day today, guys. It's a rainy day once again, Beef and Cuckoo, and well, it's bad weather. So hopefully you are still excited and you are all awake for the fight and engagement that we're going to witness today.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such an amazing day, especially for our first 4 days of the Philippine Free Fire Open. That was honestly quite shaking, and quite literally, the earth was shaking this morning just because of how intense everything was yesterday for groups A and B. But for today, we are going to be seeing groups B and C finally battle it out again. So this is the second time that they're actually going to be able to play with one another. And now, Cuckoo, with that in mind, we are at our day number 5. So there's already almost at the end line for us today.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, sorry for that microphone issue. But anyways, I am back here now. Again, welcome back here to Free Fire Philippines Open. And I hope everyone is safe. I hope you are safe, Beef, and also you, Neptune. I am the host, and we have here, again, our lovely casters for League Stage, day number 5. And as you were saying, Beef, everyone was shaking, but I was sleeping that time, so I didn't really, experienced it. But anyways, we are now here with the qualified teams for the league stages here for Free Fire Philippines Open. Again, for Group A, we have Team Almighty, AV Ligers, Team Schnauzer, Kiss Mumu, Trot Legends, PXG Radicals. For Group B, we have Bloody Head, Wells, Tyrants, Fear No One, VV Desolators, Kalasag, Who's Next. Group C, we have Saf, Death Wish, VPH, Velocity, Number 1. Thanks for the info. Shoot and Run, WLV, Imbalance. So these are your qualified teams, which you already saw every one of them already. So from yesterday, we got Group A and Group B, and we saw how AV Ligers just dominated that whole day with 2 booyahs and a bunch of kills. And there was like one time or one game that they had 20 kills that time. So right now, guys, we are going in to our point system, which is this is I think you already know this, guys. We have the Booyah, which is 12 points, going down to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we have zeros for 11 and 12. And every kill is important because you will get 1 point for every kill. And again, guys, even if you are down below, like around maybe 10th place or rank 10, 11, 12, if you got that many kills, it will definitely give you a lot of points, adding up to your scoreboard. And right now we have here the next one, which is the prize pool. And again, the prize pool total is 1 million pesos. And for the prices for each placement, we do have from the top 400,000 pesos for placement number 1, placement 2, 200,000 pesos. Placement 3 will get 100,000 pesos. Placement 4 will get 75,000 pesos. Placement 5 and placement 6 will get 50,000 pesos. And for placement 7 and 8 will get each 30,000 pesos. Placement 9 will get 20,000 pesos together with the placement 10. And then 11th will get 15,000 pesos. And then lastly, the 12th placement would get 10,000 pesos. So if you are in that top 12, you are a winner already. Basically, you will get that prize. And for the schedule for today, Group B and C, we're going to see the usual maps that we saw for the past days already. Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari, Bermuda, Purgatory, and Kalahari. So 6 total matches. We will start soon with the Bermuda match. But again, we're going to talk about the 2 groups. So Group B, we saw them yesterday already battling with Group A. Now we're going to be moving together with Group C, where we will see Saf, Death Wish. And I want to know more about Saf, Death Wish. I think Neptune has more info about it. So Neptune, what can you say about Saf, Death Wish?
Well, Saf is a familiar name, especially on Battle Royale scene, and I believe Saf Death Wish is moving their way up from the last time that they played. But right now, with the points and the kills that has been made by AV Ligers, they have to catch up. There's a lot of points in there that they need to catch up into, and knowing the strategy that we've seen from Saf Death Wish from the previous days, I believe they have a chance to go at the top. Hopefully, they'll be able to overtake AV Ligers at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the stats here, since we're going into Bermuda, which is the first match, Saf Deathwish actually has a lot of kills in that Bermuda match. From day number 2, they got like 6 kills. Day number 3, they got 9 kills. My question now is for Beef is, will they continue on with the momentum in the Bermuda match?
Yeah, it looks very good for them. They did have one win in that particular matchup in Bermuda in day number 2. And plus, they also have an average kills of 6.5. So that's a very impressive number. And I think compared to everyone else, it's a really high number for everyone that they're going to be able to actually go up against. So you can see they're pretty consistent. I think out of Group C, they are probably the most consistent team that we've seen here. Not only did they win in Bermuda, but they also had one win in Purgatory as well.
Yeah, definitely. And again, talking about Bermuda, we are almost flying into this map. Again, we have 12 really good teams. Again, we're talking about Saf Deathwish here, Neptune, and Beef. But again, we are going in this map now. So Beef, take it away.
Here we go yet again. Bermuda is something of an interesting map just because it's so classic. Everyone loves this. Everyone has their own strategy, but you are going to be heading over here right now. Yesterday, we saw Group B kind of struggle go up against Group A just because we only saw one team have just one booyah, and that was Bloodyhead. And right now, they're actually going to be going up against Saf Deathwish and WLB Imbalance. We already know that Imbalance is doing so well already, going upwards. So you know what, for Group B, they need to be able to actually be consistent, and by consistent, Neptune, we keep saying you have to be consistent but consistently good.
Exactly. Consistently good, and when we say consistent, guys, it's not really sticking to what you're doing, especially if it's failing. Consistently doing good, and if you are your adjustments, the adjustments that they're making to move up to the ranks is working, then keep that on. That is the consistency that we're talking about. But here we go, we have shoot and run right now, and I think they've spotted a few teams in there. Oh, and there you go, BPH Velocity right now, not wasting any time going in against Fear No One. And we have in here Janelle trying to push down against Darkfire. It's just a wall between them. Iceman is in there, and a surprise hit from the side from Darkfire, but it will not work. But Janelle will be backstabbing here with 2 members and Iceman for that takedown. We have Insane right now going against Iceman and Fear No One. Really didn't have any fear on that as BPH Velocity eliminates them.
Oh, the trade of Janelle. That's going to be very dangerous because we already know for the side of Velocity, Janelle is going to be a really good player for them. So that was the trade that I don't know if it was worth it or not. But Fear No One seems to be like they're such a great team in the beginning, but I think it was a really good push then because it was really good. But Janelle being down this early, it's going to be very difficult for Velocity to push through, especially the final circle. With one man down, they need to be a little bit more careful, knowing that a lot of the other squads are actually going to be really full squad. So the passive play needs to pull through.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they need to be a little bit of passive in here because without Janelle, well, usually Janelle is a sole survivor for BPH Velocity, but missing one member, not specifically not Janelle, but missing one member, it will be a disadvantage for them. And we did mention that a full squad is better than anyone unless they are really OP and they can go in solo and eliminate a bunch of teams. But here right now, we still have a BPH Velocity continuing the looting that they've been doing before they got interrupted by Fear No One. And the rest of the teams, I believe, are still not showing an engagement. Thus, they are also focused in getting those equipments and all utilities that they need before they go in for those fights, Beef.
Yes, absolutely. Before going into the fight, you need to be able to actually stock up with your weapons, and not only that, you need to get your glue walls as well. So it's really important to stock up, especially if you're going to be going up against the team. If you're backed up against the wall, you need to make sure that you're going to be well defended. And we're going to be seeing their first aids are going to be stacked up again. We're still looking at velocity right now, but I wonder what the other teams are going to be up to, because we already see a very strong start here for the side of velocity. And we already know that Velocity already sort of has a hard time. Here in Bermuda, they only have an average kill set of 1.5 out of the 4 matches that they actually have. And I feel like the strongest map for them is probably going to be Purgatory, which is going to be the next matchup. So if ever they don't do well now, they can probably pull through in the next one.
Yeah, I mean, my teams might have in here specialties when it comes to map, but they need to make those slight adjustments, especially on the placement, on where they're landing, and trying to think about who are or where is the spot in the map wherein you might get those early engagement. Now, if you're confident enough to go in for those skills early on with only a few equipments, then go ahead, jump with a different team. But if not, then you might want to distance yourself, not too far though, because you don't want to be left outside of the circle once it closes in. But I think we have Desolator in here closing in against a different team. They are moving up right now onto these hills, and a few more members or the enemy team will be flanking them on the right, but they are not seeing them just yet. So hopefully their advantage for the high ground will be better this time, and they will not be backstabbed for this fight, Beef.
Oh, the timing! The timing is just so bad right now for the side of Desolators. Taking some shots right now as well, and also at the same time having that danger zone right on top of them. They need to find some shelter or else it's going to be very bad for them, which I feel like they're actually going to be able to do. WLB imbalance seems to be like they're just right behind the Desolators, but it doesn't seem like they're actually going to be able to meet. But another team is going to be in their way right now. Oh, it's going to be very hard. Shoot and run is going to be another team that's going to be able to actually go in there for the push, and I think finally the engagement, no, it's actually not Shoot and Run, it's Bloody Heads. And you know, both of these teams have been very impressive. They almost have the same amount of statistics, just with Bloody Head having a little bit of an easier time here in Kalahari, but Bermuda seems to be like the playground for the Desolators. So if you feel like, you know, the Imbalanced team might be actually able to pull through, Imbalance might just win this one.
Yeah, we've seen how Imbalance improves so much each match, but is that enough for them to go in against Bloody Heads? We know Bloody Heads is really aggressive at this point, and they won't stop. The shots are now being fired at. Azia just taking her time or his time in there, just waiting for the position, and not too far as well are Will. So this might be a problem for Bloody Heads because they will be pinched right now from between two teams. So that is a usual problem for those who will be in between two teams, and usually they're the ones the first to go down, Beef.
Bloody Head sandwich, but Wills actually gets the bad half. You can already see here one person down. Oh, two persons down over here. Kleb gets a lot of shots as well. Vanity puts a lot of pressure in there. Doesn't quite get the takedown just yet. Just still waiting very, very patiently for Bloody Heads to actually give a lot of the damage to the side of Wills. And that was really bad read for Wills. They had the upper hand to actually have no one behind them, but sadly, they were just able to go for the takedown. Kleb and Embalor are going to be the only one left for the side of Wills, and they need to play it smart. There's going to be 2 squads that's going to be greeting there. 2 full squads. No, actually, Morgana does go down for the side of Bloody Head. So Wills does a little bit of damage, but to what cost? 2 members.
Yes, indeed. And here we go. Shots are being fired right now. I think WLV Imbalance has their focus more on Bloody Heads. They're letting go of Wills right now, but Cruz is not letting go of that position. Oh, he is surrounded by 3, trying to get those information. There's another one from Wills in there on the far left, but Kleb is being shot at by Cruz right here, and we know Cruz with that sniper, he really doesn't make much of a miss, especially when he get that information. But hopefully, Bloody Heads will be able to push back against WLV as they are slowly moving in here. Mark right now just going in on those warning shots, making sure that WLB will not push, or giving them a warning so that they will not push that quickly, as Cruz right now just simply stalks the rest of Wills in here.
Now, this is a very, very good push. And actually, there's still 3 members left for Wills. It's just like that other member is going to be a little bit far out. You can see 2 of them are actually occupying 2 separate buildings, and 1 is going to be probably trying to go for the pinch, maybe even go for the distraction gameplay. Bloody Heads is still going to be stuck here, and WLB Imbalance seems to be like they want to back away from this situation, which I feel like could be a great thing for them. But maybe they just let go a little bit too early, but they're just I feel like they're just thinking, okay, we're not going to be engaging this right now. It's a little bit too risky. And that's what I like about Imbalance is the fact they can read the room, they can read the situation, know when to back away, know when to go for the aggression. And that's why they've been doing so well over here. Right now, Bloody Heads and Wills are going to be battling out. It's basically a 3v3 situation for both of these teams.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they are doing great right now, and reading those situation is really a great strategy, especially strats.
Yes,
I would just say
strategy.
strats.
Strategy. I love that.
I would just say strat in there. This WLB, seeing the kill feed in there. One member from each team has already been taken down, so they saw the kill feed, so they are familiar as to who they are going against. And WLV just backed off a little bit. They want this engagement between Bloody Heads and Wills to start and get over. Because WLV might be thinking, let's just be vultures right now after that, and then we'll be going in for the push or probably waiting for them to get out of that area. And we're still a full squad, so we might have we will be having the advantage at that point. But Wills and Bloody Heads are just doing for the waiting game. Abnoy is in here, knowing that Abnoy is very aggressive, especially on the double vector in hand. He's just waiting for anyone who jump off from behind and who might attempt to flank the 2 remaining members of Wills in there, as they have their focus on the 2 members on that building. Abnoy has a good strat at that point.
Yeah, strategy might be on point over there, but for the side right now for Kalasag, who's next, and VB Desolators, they might be able to actually go in for the crossfire, but going in here, who's next is going to be at the bottom of this hill. VB Desolators has a really nice view of whoever is going to be coming up here. So it might be a little bit tricky for Kalasag, who's next, knowing very well there's going to be 2 players here in Kotatua and 2 other players that's going to be a little bit spread out. They need to play a little bit more separately over here. Here we go! The push finally coming in. Maute goes down, and finally the response that we've been waiting for the side right now of Wills, finally going in for the aggression, going in there. Maute is still going to be in trouble, but then Cruz needs to go in for the assist. Mark as well, only having 1 kill, and here we go. Cruz gets 1, and that was the push that Wills just did not need.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Abnoy is aggressive, knowing that he is really the rusher for this team. But I think the backup was a little bit too late in there for the rest of the team. And here we go, another fight is happening, and this time it is from Saf, Deathwish, and VV Desolators, and 1 man down. Saber will be going down on that fight, and Forbids right now will be taking out another one. It is Wankai who will be eliminated at this point, and let's go in there, not wasting any time, eliminating the final member. Ninja will not get away at this point. Another team will be going against Saf in here, trying to go in on that vulture tactic, but it will not work because Saf right now are too prepared for anyone who goes in. They know that every time they go into engagement, they will be backstabbed, or anyone might be going near them. And Kalazagus next didn't go in that fast enough to take advantage of those engagements.
Yeah, they were at the bottom of the hill, and actually a while ago we weren't able to even see Saf. They weren't even in the vicinity when the last time we actually checked them. So Desolators always being in the lucky end, very unlucky team, always going up against 2 teams in between the sandwich that is going to be basically their demise. They're going to be the 10th team that's going to be spotted here in our game number 1. But I actually just want to talk about that play a while ago with Wills. They sacrificed him. I think they sacrificed him because you can see 2 members were running far away, and that you saw there, Bloody Heads was basically just paying their attention into 1 member of Wills. It's basically either all of them die or just 1 will die and sacrifice himself so the other 2 members can go away quietly. That is probably one of the smartest things I've seen, just because they already know that Bloody Heads was in a really tight position. And for the side of Wills, they basically just said, you know what, we're going to be giving you up, and we're going to be going inside the circle very, very early on. And you can already see they're going to be positioned really nicely at the very edge of our third circle.
Yes, indeed. And not really a fan of Rick Ashley in there. They gave up on one member. They gave up on Abnoy at that point. But I'm thinking Abnoy was just a little too excited on the gunfight, being too near on Bloody Head. He went in for the push and probably had a miscommunication between Embalor, but it's a good thing. I like what you mentioned. Embalor and the rest of the teams of WoW was able to back off this because one of their teammates has been taken down and they have another day to fight. But here we go. We have Kalasag who's next right now, who's taking shots from, thanks for the info from above. This is a difficult position for Kalasag who's next right now because they are below them. And there you go. Ooh, just bouncing off that sphere in there. That was almost a takedown against Myth, but here comes Myth, just ready for anyone to peek. And thanks for the info right now. It's backing off a little bit. They don't want to show their faces because they don't know how many members of Kalasag Who's Next are in here. They don't know if this is a full squad or probably remnants of what happened earlier for the gunfights that are too near them. And here we go, slowly moving in for the flag. We have Red right now in there. Ooh, and the zone is closing in. Hawkeye going in for the kill against Tinker, and we have Red in there finishing it off and going into the zone. We have one member just riding away from this fight, trying to survive, but hopefully the rest of the team will be able to survive and come back another day.
Coming back another day is something that Vanity won't be able to actually see. Wiz, Azia, and Roz are going to be the only ones left for Imbalance. But here we go. We're going to be looking right now at Kalasag, who's next, going up against a lot of the teams right now. Thanks for the info. Still being a little bit too sketchy here. Just because they already have that high ground, but then they still lost one player. They kept on engaging that even though they needed to push already. And right now, thanks for the info, it's going to be able to actually go in for the high ground yet again. Kalasag, who's next, knows how to actually use that to their advantage, even though they are going to be at the lower ground. Oh, but then just behind the corner, it's going to be Velocity right now with a triple kill. And just in the sidelines, you're going to be seeing here, Wills gets eliminated. Bloody Heads yet again gets their kill, imbalanced as well, just like that. And only in the fourth circle, we're going to be seeing a lot of the engagements going on right now. And Tyrant seems to be like they're in a really good position.
And looking at the kill feed right now, we have Staff in there intervening with the fight of Kalasag who's next. A few members has been taken down already. We have Myth in here, who's the only one up, one man down for their side. And we have Les going there, going in, finishing off. Myth right here, going for the push in between two members, but will not be able to make it as McRory goes in for those shotguns. And Staff, once again, dominating this fight. 8 kills already under their team name, and a few more will be on their sides in a bit as the zone will be closing in 2 seconds and a few of the teams will be getting closer to each other.
Getting close for comfort, too close indeed. And for Staff, they were able to actually get rid of 2 teams already, Kalasag who's next and VB Desolators. So you already know that Staff is going to be absolutely crazy here, knowing the stats as well. They already have such impressive numbers in this particular matchup, 6.5 kills. That is not going to matter right now. They have 8 to their name. They're doing even better. Now, for the side of Group C, you already know that this team is going to be the very consistent, but if you're going to be the other teams playing against them, what are you going to do with that information? You need to be able to be as aggressive as they are, and right now you can see here, Tyrant's going to be in trouble. Nades are going to be flying through, and they're going to be stuck in that particular building, and the zone is going to be closing. McRory is going to be applying a lot of that pressure in there. They need to go in for the push.
Yeah, they need to go into the bush, but they need to look into over their shoulders because a few members are flanking them in. But here we go, we have Let's Go right now being too quick on that and trying to go in, but the blue wall has saved one of Tyrants, and there you go, Aris was able to go in for the kill against Damon, and Let's Go right now rushing in. Who will survive this fight? 2 men down already from the side, a third will be going down. Let's Go, the only one remaining, but a few members of Tyrants is still alive, taking shots at them. This might be the end, but there you go. Saf Death Wish will be taken down by WTS Tyrant, another aggressive team in there, but Shoot and Run also will be taken down from the side of BBH. Velocity Insane is in there, a little too far from Carpi, who's Carpi going in on 1v1 against Yappy right now, but Cruz right here, together with Maute and Mark going in for the push. Fear is also going in for those shots against Mark. This is what I'm talking about. The moment that they get close to each other, the rampage begins.
The rampage is going to be beginning beginning right now. Everyone needs to actually push through inside the circle. It's only going to be Mark, basically. VPH Velocity, and thanks for the info, are going to be eliminated. Now it's going to be 2 members right now for Tyrants, only 1 member for Bloody Heads. This is going to be very, very difficult right now. It's actually no 2 members right now for Bloody Heads, so they're pretty evenly played, and there's going to be 2v2 situation right now. But then we see here Bloody Heads has the upper hand, but they do need to push. So right now for the side of Tyrants, they did so well at eliminating Saf, and even though they were at an absolute disadvantage, they took advantage of the fact that Saf went in there too aggressively, basically with their pants down. And right now the engagements are going to be ensuing. Mark is going to want to go in, push over here, try to see if he can actually get that from the shotgun. Not quite getting a shot that he really wants to have, as the blue wall is going to be getting in there as the circle comes close. Here we go, Bloody Heads with our first booyah of the day. That was an absolutely crazy push there. Cruz with that epic 4 kills, the MVP for his team.
Yes, indeed. Cruz together with Maute, Mark, and we have Morgana in there going in for the kill. And mind that Morgana was taken down early on this fight, so that was 3 members in there going against a lot of teams up until the end. Cuckoo.
Yeah, definitely. And Team Bloody Heads just actually were the smarter team in that engagement, in that 2v2 situation. And Cruz was the MVP at that point, able to actually get that. I think it was a 360 shot that he did at the very end. So congratulations to Bloody Heads. And this would mean that they will have more points into their scores and might go on top of the leaderboards here, with Group A not playing. So for Saf Deathwish, though, I was expecting a lot with Saf Deathwish. However, I think they overcommitted though at that point with the Wolves Tyrants were in. They were like outside the circle, and they actually were eliminated. So instead of going for the objectives, they went for that kill, but they were killed instead. So right now, we are looking at the highlights of this first match in Bermuda. As we see here at the very beginning, Fear No One is still struggling, to say the least. And right now, on this highlight, we see Heads. Maute got taken down there, but Cruz is trying to save the day for the team, as they will try to eliminate here Abnoy from Team Wells. What do you think of Neptune? What do you think of the push that Saf Deathwish did against Team WTS at the later stages of the game, though?
Yeah, I mean, I believe what they're thinking is they don't want to start the engagement from that high above of that hill, because they might be backstabbed from anywhere as they go in for the push against Tyrant. But they went in too fast, too early, and a little bit spread out. They're going for the pinch. Both sides are being pushed by both teams, and I think it's just a 1-3 push that they did in there. Thus, they were taken out one at a time.
And I agree with you with that one. It was way too early. They should have maybe waited for a little bit. Maybe try to get those people in that. I think it was a building that they were hiding. Maybe wait a little time so that they can actually get out of that area, so that there'll be not much of any cover. But looking at the very end here, just putting up all the glue walls here for cover. And Mark actually was the one who did that 360 shot there at the very end. So again, really, really good battle here in our first map in Bermuda. So Bermuda is done. Now we're going to move on to Purgatory, which we've seen from, yesterday, the Purgatory win coming from AV Laggers. However, AV Laggers is not here. We're going to be seeing Group B and C. And again, this next map in Purgatory, we've seen from Group B the good teams who've been playing this. And I think it's Wells, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Beef?
Actually, we had like a lot of wins already. I think Wills wasn't able to get that one win yesterday. I think it was at the side of, I think Trot Legends was the one that was able. No, it was Bloody Heads. It was Bloody
yeah.
Heads. It's actually won map number 2 yesterday. So again, with Purgatory, there has been a very very amazing win here for the side of Bloody Heads, just because they have so many wins in this particular map. I think they've already had 2 or 3 already. A lot of interesting pushes here from the side of Bloody Heads and BB Desolators as well. But then another team that I would like to commend here, I mean, we can't stop commending Saf Deathwish. They already have one Purgatory over here, and also for the side of Velocity as well. So we shouldn't keep out Velocity when it comes to those wins here in this particular map.
Yeah, definitely. Velocity and Saf Deathwish is a team to beat here, especially for Group C. And right now, we're moving in closer now to Purgatory as we see the grasslands of the map. We're going to be flying in. We see already the plane up above. Take it away, Beef.
And here we go. Purgatory is going to be the name of the game. Bloody Head has a really nice average kills here, 5.1, the most out of everyone in this particular matchup. Right below them, though, is probably going to be Velocity, like what we mentioned a while ago, 4.2 to their name. And also for the side of Wills as well, 4.5. But a while ago with Wills, they were just absolutely decimated by Bloody Head a while ago. So I'm actually expecting that Bloody Head and Wills might be another matchup that we are looking forward to later on.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's a matchup in there that really should be waited on, but we are seeing a bunch of teams already on top of each other. Now here at the bottom of the map right now, we're seeing 2 teams landing down in the central side, and we also have a Desolator in here already on the ground. Now the question is, will they be able to go in for this fight earlier on, or do they have time to position themselves as well as take some loots? Now Purgatory right now, usually when we go into this map, we go into the water area most of the time, and hopefully they are ready for that engagement, because yesterday it was Bermuda where we had that, and I think Trot Legends was ready for that engagement. So are we going to see those wacky board tactics on top of the water as well as the walls in here, as it might happen at this point?
Yeah, and honestly, the spotlight is going to be in Bloody Heads right now, just because they had that win yesterday here in this particular matchup. But then again, it's going to be a completely different group, though. So we'll see what is going to happen with this particular matchup. And right now, we are going to be looking at who's next. Who's next in their list? Is it going to be them, or is it going to be another team that they're going to be able to actually pull through? Red already taking a lot of these shots and needs to go in for the heal.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they need to go to the heal, because you don't know early on this fight. Yes, it's a little bit slow usually, but compared to the previous one, there's a start of an engagement in there. But right now, usual happening is when you start a match, you just need some time to go in and get those. Right here, we have Hawkeye, who's taking shots at someone that we couldn't see just yet, but we have Wills in here as well, going in for the fight. Now we have a Saf, let's go in there, being taken down. Oh, Saf, let's go is in there, being taken down early. Another team will be in the battle. Wills have Noi will be backstabbing here, and Fear No One Prince was able to eliminate that team. The first blood is in. It is coming from Fear No One, and we have Wills in there just hiding out on that small boulder. Will they be able to survive this, as we have Fear No One, a full squad going against them? We have Alforte right now trying to go in against Darkfire, and Darkfire will be taken down by Klebs. Klebs right now going in here, not being seen just yet by Fear No One. Had a good advantage in there, but the grenade will be thrown at him, and the rush is on. Embalor right here going in for the backstab as the few members of Fear No One goes in, and on the other side, Kleb, what a good pinch in here from the side of Wills, and there you go. Almost the elimination of the whole squad. Darkfire is in there, still trying to defend. Oh, the comeback against Alforte, but Klebs right now on the 1v1. Darkfire reloading, but Fear No One will be taken down there as Kleb goes in for those kills.
Yet again, Wheels with just 2 people left this earlier on. It's only been the first circle, and right now it is going to be closing up just a little bit. But Embolor is going to be able to actually go in there for the heal. But let's look at the match 1 round standings that we had. Bloodyhead with 22 points, Tyrant with 16, VPH Velocity with 15, Saf Deathwish with 13. Thanks for the info with that 9, Shoot and Run with an 8, Kalasak who's next with 5, Gafilam Wheels with 4, WLV Imbalance with 3, Fear No One with 1, VB Desolators with 1 as well. Number 1, though, seems to be like they're going to be not participating in the competition anymore, as we don't see them here already. Yesterday, we actually didn't quite see them as well. So having that 0 spot, I feel like it's already going to be a sure ball that they're going to be in that bottom of the pack with that 18th spot.
Yes, indeed. I mean, if they don't show up for the next matches, that will be their position all throughout the league stages. But hopefully, everyone is okay from their side. Hopefully, they'll be able to come back in here and show us a good show. Despite of being in a bottom position, we're still waiting for them to come back a little bit from this fight. Now, speaking of comeback, we have a Kalasagus next right now. I think they are coming back in here on the top of the hill, trying to look for the enemy, and a few of the enemies will be in here on the far side. But we have Hawkeye right now, who's a little bit too far from the rest of the team. This might be troublesome for them because this is where it happens, wherein one member will be taken down, the rest will not be able to get there in time that moment that they have been eliminated. Now, thanks for the info right now. Moving up the hill as well as they go in closer into Kalasagus next. The question is, will thanks for the info be aggressive enough to go in for this fight, B?
Well, it just seems to be like they're going to be playing a little bit more passively, just looking around, trying to see if they can actually get some good loot over here. But Kalasagus next is going to be just right beside them. It just seems to be like if they're going to be able to do that. But here we go. BB Desolators taking a lot of the shots right now. Saber needs to go for the heal up. There needs to be the pickup or else they will be one down man. There you go. Gets down, but then the wall does save Hive. And they're going to be taking shots right now. It's going to be very difficult to go up against a team like this. BB Desolator really having a really hard time here, especially going up against a really strong team, taking a lot of these shots right now.
Yes, indeed. I mean, those gameplays, early on engagement, this is where you hope that everyone survives. But for the case of Saber, they weren't able to save him in time. And VB Desolators right now is on the lower ground compared to Saf Deathwish. But on the other side, on the high ground, we have Kalasagus next right now, who is going in and being pushed by, thanks for the info, Tinker right there being in trouble, trying to release that blue wall and healing up. But we have Red right here already with only a tree covering him, but still firing. There go Preach being shot at, and Hawkeye right now being shoot back. Here comes Hawkeye for that hit, and Red was the one going in for that kill against Tinker. Oh, the great gameplay didn't work, and it just backfired, and Preach was able to go in for that kill. We have Red right here going in against Patata, and we have Yappy in there from above trying to move in. Oh, there you go. They were able to clear it up and balance it off for the 2v2, but Hawkeye in there too quick on the change of weapons, taking on Yappy. It is now left to one member, and thanks for the info, we'll be out of this game.
Kalasagus next just proved who's boss, and thanks for the info. It does go down so early into the matchup, and here we go. Another rematch that we've been seeing over here is going to be Desolators versus Saf, but you know, Saf always giving the pressure to the side of Desolators, taking out one already. Saber is going to be down very early on into the matchup, and for Saf though, they're just chilling. They do have that advantage over there. Having a little bit of that hill is going to be great for them. They need to be able to actually pull through. I think they're going to be going up against another team at the very end, but no, they're actually going to push away. They're not going to be able to engage. One is enough, knowing very well that they could probably fight another day, but 4-bit is going to be very difficult right now. It's going to be the only one left. Feels like it's going to be a distraction gameplay on his end, but he needs to go away into safety.
Yes, indeed. Safety is needed for 4-bids in there. Maybe moving far from the other side with that house and cover would be a great tactic, as the rest of the teams are already moving away. Or probably they're just going in for the flank. We'll have to find out what the tactic of Saf Deathwish is in here. Because so far from the other matches that we've seen them on, they are just switching it up. Different tactics for different situation. And I think VB Desolators right now don't want to go in for that aggressive part, and they just want to hang back a little bit because they don't want to end up early on and at the bottom of this list.
That was such a great play by Saf. They're basically just giving just a little bit of damage to whoever team that they're going to be able to pull through. Just taking out one by one. And that's very smart because you are basically going to change the play of that team going into that final circle. It was very smart for them to actually go in there a little bit early on inside Brasilia and just basically going to be able to pick up a lot of the loot that they're going to be able to pick up here. And for the side of VB Desolators, they're one person down. So having that into consideration, your play is going to be a little bit more different. And for the side of SAF, that was very smart for them to actually disengage, knowing that they're going to be fighting VB Desolators at another day when they're in a bit of a better position and also having more members to their team.
Yes, indeed, a good position and more members, especially at the later part of the game, wherein a lot of members might have already lost some. And here we go, we have shots right now coming from the side of VPH Velocity. I think they are going against VB Desolators in here. A few sides in there are probably the other way around, but they are in the middle of the circle. No need to worry. But we have WLV on the other side, the bottom, on the southeast of that map, who might be held back a little bit as they have a few teams behind them and they have a long way to go into the circle.
Yeah, very, very long way to go. And at this point in the circle, you need to be able to be in sort of the center part, or else you're going to be gatekept by a lot of these teams, especially with Saf just looking in there. They are going to be one man down, though, and it's going to be very interesting how they actually played it. I think they actually lost that to the gunfight in Desolators, and maybe that's the reason why they backed off. And sadly, we weren't able to actually see the gunfight ensue, but that's still a very important thing right now. But the Desolators are still going to be right in their tail, and Saf actually knows that. They're going to be very, very cautious, and the information from the other staff members, especially from the side of Daymoon, need to come through. The first floor is going to be occupied right now. Daymoon doesn't quite know that there's going to be one person right below him.
And there you go, one person is slowly sneaking up against Damon, and oh, there you go, just running away. Oh, missing that grenade, almost being hit, being taken down with Damon. What a good play in here, going away, and Wonka is the one being taken down in there. Oh, it's a grenade coming from the side of Saf, and what a good move in there, pushing them, baiting them to chase after Damon, and the rest of the team, 4 beads, and McCrory goes in for the push. Here we go, another grenade hit against Wonkai, and we have in here VP Desolators, who is already down by 2 for the manpower, and Ninja will be taken down as well by McCrory. It's now a solo member from the side of VP Desolators, and Saf Deathwish really giving them the death wish.
McCrory is going to be at an absolute rampage here, having a quadra kill. Only one person in Desolators is going to be alive, and even though that they played a little bit more passively, Saf just popped off. You don't want to be going up against Saf. You don't want to be the one that's charging in Saf. You need to wait for them to go to you. And a while ago, Saf was just a little bit too aggressive in the last match, and they basically learned from their mistake. I feel like if they engaged in Desolators a while ago, they're probably not going to win that gunfight. So they backed away, positioned themselves a little bit better, and now they went in for the push. Desolators was the one that was a little bit too aggressive, and they paid the price. There's only going to be one member in their team, and it's a really good strat for him to just go away knowing he's not going to basically win a 1v3.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I really love how Damon just forced a few members into that room, and I think it's McCrory who's able to grenade one member from VB Desolators at the bottom, the first floor of that house, as Damon just jumped off. But we're looking at shoot and run right now. Not really running. I think they're just waiting for WTS. And here we go. We are moving into the zone. But on the other side, we have Wheels, Embalor. Oh, the accuracy of Embalor right now going against WLB Imbalance, and WLB Imbalance will be in a tight spot as Azia is already down, and the rest of Wells is not stopping and shooting them, and a triple kill in there from the side of Gleb, and Wills right now really on a heated battle.
That far away, doing that much damage is going to be so bad for the side of Imbalance. Vanity does go down, and Balor finally gets a third. What? How could you let a guy like that kill your whole squad from that far away. That was just so unfortunate to see. They weren't able to actually utilize all the glue walls. I'm not even sure if they were able to get all of it down, but it just seems like to be, they were such an easy target. They were just standing around over there, not even moving that much, giving Embelor the shots. Easy shots, may I add. And right now, you're basically giving this duo a lot of kills right now. 3 pieces to their name, Pleb and Embelor, doing so much damage to whoever they're actually going to go up against. Shoot and Run's going to be right in their west side, but they're not going to be engaging. It's a good thing they're not going to do that, but it just seems to be like Shoot and Run already knows that there's going to be someone here.
And here we go. The UAV will be released by Embelor. And speaking of Embelor, we've seen Embelor on a sniper, and his accuracy is very good. But with those shots that has been made on WLB imbalance from that far away, it looks like he's been using a sniper for all this time, and he's just making those shots count. And here we go. A bunch of teams already in here, inside of the circle, and a pandemonium might happen in here in a few moments, as we have BPH Velocity trying to run into the zone. Carpi right now might be in trouble into the face of Saf Deathwish. We have the solo member of Desolate PH. It is Hive in there, who's just standing by as Wiz, also a solo member going in there, and shots are being fired right now from the side of Shoot and Run. What we have in there, Lodi trying to go in for the flank and regrouping with the rest of the teams. Hopefully they have a good plan in here. There's a lot of teams in this small area.
This is a very nice last circle just because there's so much cover for all of these teams to actually get. It's going to be coming into that side of Kalasag, who's next is actually going to be able to get a lot of that cover that they really needed. It seems to be like they're going to be in the middle of the pack, but Desolators gets eliminated, and Hive just couldn't really pull through at the very last second. It's going to be very hard, just like a full squad's going to be coming at you, but here we go. The Tyrants does get a lot of pressure right now from the side of Shoot and Run. Tries to see if they actually get it, but doesn't quite get a lot of the kills right now. Shoot and Run's going to be very aggressive, but still 0 kills to their name.
Yes, indeed, 0 kills, and it really doesn't matter who goes first as long as you take down another member. But it is on the other side, was able to go in for the kill against the Tyrant. It is a Kalasagus who went in for those shots, and we have Daryl in there dying down from a vehicle explosion. We have Genesis right now from the other side trying to go in for the flank, and we have Maute right here slowly rushing in onto or repositioning themselves. I think getting a better position for this fight because they know after these engagement they will be the ones up next, and they want to be ready on this battle. Morgana right now going for the push, and I think it's the only member of WLB Imbalance who might be trapped in here. Wiz nowhere to go, whizzing away, will be taken down by Morgana on double vector, and Imbalance will be eliminated at this point. We have Shoot and Run being taken down in there by Saf Deathwish, and Tyrants right now, one surviving in there. The rest are knocked down but still has managed to pick them all up. Now on VPH Velocity right now, there's a Insane who's already out of the game, and the rest of the teams are just moving in, regrouping, and healing up.
Velocity needs to push up this hill. It's going to be very dangerous for them to actually stay there. But then just like that, it's going to be Saf's going to be on their eastern side, and Bloody Head's going to be in the northern side. But they need to go and push this because the circle is going to be very painful right now. You can see here the damage being done already for the people who are going to be outside. But you can see here the Tyrants are actually going to have a really nice positioning over here, having a lot of the cover already by the buildings. But just like that, it's going to be very interesting how they actually get the push because everyone knows that Bloody Heads are actually going to be there.
Yes, indeed, Bloody Heads will be in there, and shots after shots, and there goes VPH Velocity being eliminated. We're now down to 3 as we have Cruz in here still firing it on against this team of Saf Deathwish, and Damon is the target at that point. Oh, wow! What a hit! Tyrant in there for the grenade hit, and a few members of that team has been taken out. Now McRory is in here from below trying to go in for the push together with Corbin, as we have Morgana still surviving at this point. We have Tyrants right now in their fear, slowly moving in, and there you go, shots after shots after shots. We have Fear in there with a triple kill, and Deathwish will be going down. It's now left to Morgana and a few members of WTS Tyrants, but Morgana right now will just be hiding off. The glue wall will be in there being seen, but Morgana with a double vector, didn't work at that that moment. But we have it here, the second booyah of the day. WTS Tyrants in here with Fears. The MVP Lodi, Pong, and Ares will take this win.
Very impressive booyah, and we already know that they were actually going to get that just because of their positioning. We kept on mentioning it a while ago how nasty it was that they were positioned well enough. Pong, Ares, Lodi, Fear, and Storm absolutely doing such a great job, Cuckoo.
Yeah, definitely they are doing such a great job, and the explosion basically just gate kept Bloody Heads from winning it again in that map. That was a surprising explosion, and it was only Morgana that was left for Bloody Heads, just leaving Saf Deathwish and Wolves Tyrants on battling each other. And what a nice push there coming from WTS, going to Saf Deathwish. They just knew that they had the advantage. They got the numbers advantage at that point, and at the same time, Saf Deathwish didn't really have their position locked in yet. So with that one said, Morgana just tried to, maybe do a 4v1 clutch, but that is highly unlikely that it's gonna happen,
Yeah, I think that
definitely.
one
So,
was
it's
a very
unlikely.
interesting one. Sorry about that. Actually, you know what? You go ahead. You go ahead, Neptune.
Yeah, it's unlikely to happen because at some point when you go in, despite of the aggressiveness that Morgana has, and with that double vector and a close encounter, if you go against one, wherein when it happens, he was able to go in for the takedown, but it's sure enough that he will be backstabbing there, probably on the second or on the third if it doesn't happen in the first.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we are looking at the highlights for match number 2 right here in Purgatory. As earlier on, we see here Fear No One and Govilam Wells battling each other. I thought Fear No One was trying to, eliminate Wells here. Unfortunately, with that 360 move shot by Kleb, able to eliminate Fear No One. I think Fear No One really is, not able to go up against all these top-tier teams in the league stages. They're just having that hard time on trying to find that right formula. And here's what Beefs mentioned earlier. Just spray, and everyone in your squad will get eliminated. There's only like one player left standing for WLV Imbalance right at this moment. Embalor just spraying and just destroying all the members of WLV Imbalance. And this was the last member of WLV Imbalance getting obliterated there by Morgana. And this is where you can see SNR battling here in this house. We're in. It's just chaos basically. All of those glue walls and everything just landing on the ground. And now here's what we have talked about. WTS just threw in that nade over to the few members of Bloody Heads, and at this point, it's going to be only one member left, which is going to be Morgana. Tried to go for that 4v1 clutch. Unfortunately, again, 4 is better than 1. And guys, congratulations again to Team WTS getting that second booyah together with all of those skills. I'm not sure how many kills they got there, but I hope that they can get as much as points as possible, as a lot of points, so that they can actually get their position locked in that top 12. Beef now, with Team WTS beating Saf Deathwish together with Bloody Heads. Are they in that tier already, in the top tier where all these other teams are at right now?
Yeah, most definitely. Tyrants has actually always been in the middle of the pack, always being that top 6 or top 5 or even top 7. So this was a very important win for them. And we already knew from that final circle, their positioning was just really, really good. And for the side of Morgana, he actually had the choice to go in there, but just waited for Saf to be eliminated, placing high enough. That was, honestly, it's essential to have at least one more point. So that patience gameplay just really had one for them.
Yeah, definitely, and it gave them one more point compared to just having the third place placement point. So right now, guys, we're done with 2 maps. We're going into Kalahari. But before we do that, we're gonna go on a short break. Again, my name is Kuku TV, your host, and I have here our lovely casters, Beef Mommy and Neptune, the Gentleman Gaming. Guys, we will be right back.
Free Fire!
Barba in there taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan. Vigilantes not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalata, who's next, is going to get a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
Why? Fear no one, having no fear. Will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lafred seeing them finally try to see. We actually get another one. Here we go. Yes, the kills. Finally get.
And welcome back here to Free Fire Philippines Open, presented to you by Garena. And guys, my name is Kuku TV, your host for today and actually for tomorrow, together with our two lovely casters again, Beef Mommy and Neptune, the Gentleman Gaming. And guys, we're back with day number 5 of the league stages between Group B and Group C, and we're down with 2 maps. So we're going to be having now the 3rd map, which is Kalahari. And Kalahari, again, like what we always mentioned, this is the sandy maps, desert map of Kalahari, wherein we're going to see a lot of long-range battles. But before we move into that map, let's see here the round standings for match 2. Looking at the kill count, Tyrants really went all out on map number 2 with 12 placement points, so getting the booyah together with 12 total kills, 24 total points for them. Saf, Deathwish bouncing back from that bad play in map number 1, only getting 16 points though, so with 8 placement points and 8 kills. Govilam Wells, they got 6 kills at that point, getting 12 total kills. Kalasagu's next, together with Bloody Heads, getting 10 points apiece. VPH Velocity getting only 9 points. Shoot and Run getting 4 total kills. Thanks for the info. And WLV Imbalance together with 3 points each. Fear No One with only 2. Also same goes with VB Desolators. And number 1 at ranked number 12, not getting any placement points or kill points. And looking at the overall standings right now, guys, we still have AV Lakers at the very top, but Bloody Head is now sniffing around. I think there's a few more points left here. Maybe all they need is just one booyah plus a double-digit kill count for the next game, and they will be number 1 after today. And Team Almighty, 187. They're not playing today, guys. Team Wells, they got 184 at 4th. PXG Radicals, 182, not playing today. We have Tyrants with 180 points. So the Booyah and the 12 kills really help a lot here. Now they're at 6th place. So rank number 7, we have Sap Deathwish, 178 points. VB Desolators at 8th, 162. Trot Legends, 157 at 9th. We have rank number 10, Kalasagu's next, 132. 11, we have Team Schnauzer with 117. WLV Imbalance, 104 at 12. And then 13th, VPH Velocity with 99. Shoot and Run at 14th, 95 points. Kiss Moo Moo with 94. Fear No One at 16th with 89. 64 for Thanks for the Info. And number 1 at number 18 with 28 total points. So if you look at the standings there at the bottom part, we got top 12, 13. It is really close out there. So this would only mean that these 2 remaining days for our league stages are really that important, especially for those guys who are really wanting to get into that grand finals or the final stage of the Free Fire Philippines Open. And we saw Fear No One. I mean, they're having that really hard time trying to win against all these top teams. I want to ask you now, Neptune, do they really have a chance to get into that top 12, or are they like just playing it right now and just trying to show up in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, they only need a few, at least 10 points and above to be able to reach top 12. But as the teams get into those points, into those kills, I think it will be slowly moving. So they need to stack up probably on the placement as well as the kills as well, but not too much on the early engagement because they're barely making it at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to see more of Fear No One. I've always seen them getting killed really early. But right now, we are going into Kalahari, the desert sand of Free Fire. And right now, guys, we are going to the casters. So, Beef, take it away.
And we are here. Oh, it's going to be the sandy dunes. Basically, what's the opposite of what's happening right now in our country? It's going to be very dry and cold over here in this particular map. And even though that is going to be heated up, let's see what is going to happen. We already know that 3 teams already have a win over here. WLV Imbalance did get 1 win. Shunrun as well. And Kalasag, who's next? Now, these particular teams actually have been struggling, but they've just been at the bottom. Just by a little bit of a margin. We can see here Shoot and Run in that 14th spot. WLV Imbalance also with that 12th spot, something that you don't want to be at just because you don't know what's going to happen. So yes, you are going to be in that 12th spot right now, but you can easily be bumped down. And for Kalasag, who's next, having that 10 tier. Having that tier 10, that's not going to be comfortable as well because you can be bumped down just as long as you can actually just be consistent. And being consistent meaning you need to have a lot of these points that you were actually able to get.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of points, I think here we go. We have Shoot and Run who just heard us and getting those 2 points already. Oh, another point from Jashka in there. There you go. Another takedown in there from the side of Shoot and Run. Here we go. We have a Daryl right now going in. Daryl's very aggressive at this point. And we just mentioned they don't want to go into early engagement wherein they fail. But I think this is a different story right now. Here comes Daryl going in for the backstab in here against Colette. But that will not work that quickly. But Jashka will be taken down and Daryl for the pickup. And we still have a full squad in here from the side of Shoot and Run. This is different Shoot and Run that we're looking at, Beef, as they are going in winning the fight.
Now, this map is the comeback map. A lot of the teams that actually do well in Purgatory and Bermuda don't do well in Kalahari. And that's why we see teams like Shoot and Run, WLV, and Balance, and also Kalasagu's Next absolutely shining here. And this is the map that they can actually come back and really get a lot of these points. And we can see it already. Shoot and Run just absolutely decimating Wheels right now. I'm actually not quite sure if they were able to actually get just that one last person here. I think there was only one. Not quite sure if he was actually go for the pickup, but hopefully Shoot and Run got a lot of those coins, and also for the points for their team, maybe even a lot of these kills. This is looking really good for them. They need to go in there for the aggression, and that's what they're doing. Especially, they know it's an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they're really aggressive, knowing Shoot and Run. But the thing is, most of the aggression that they have, it turns around against them. And this is the time, this is the instance wherein they might have the confidence, because that early engagement compared to earlier, they were able to take it up. They were able to take 2 or 3 down from Will. Speaking of, that was Wills that they went against. And Shoot and Run going against Wills. Shoot and Run is really trying to move up. They're making up for the next 2 days that will be coming in. And like what I mentioned earlier, they need at least 10 more points to be able to reach the top 12. And they need to stack up a little bit more to be able to go ahead and leave the rest of the teams behind if they want to take those placements.
Absolutely. Speaking of placement, Velocity needs to actually step it up, just because their average kills for this particular map is 2. And the only reason why it's 2 is because in one map in Kalahari, they were able actually to get 8 kills to their name. The rest of their 4 games in Kalahari, 0 kills. So you already know this is not their map. So we're going to be seeing if they're going to be pulling through, especially that there's going to be another team next to them.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's more of positioning at this point, and compared to the rest of the teams that we've seen yesterday, I think there's only a few in here that's already taking the high ground. A lot of teams are in here, are moving around in the outskirts and trying to get as much loot as they can, and then move their way up. Oh, speaking of high ground, we have Fear No One who already has one, but the Fear No One in here is having a close engagement guns, like what we have Darkfire in here, who has the double vector. I think it's only a few that has a sniper in here, where it's very essential that you have at least a double sniper for 1 or 2 members, so that they can take a peek as to those other high grounds, as well as those bottom of the hill, to take a few kills.
Yup, at the bottom of the hill to take a few of these kills, and the sniper is going to be essential, especially if you are going to be up in the steel beams like where they are right now. Fear No One needs to really step it up. They're at the bottom. They need to be able to actually pull through, especially in a map like this, where you know they can actually get a lot of these points, but the numbers aren't going to be on their favor. They only have average kills of 1.1 in Kalahari, so they are completely struggling here, and what they need to do, knowing that they struggle, is to just play a little bit more, passively, not to try to engage a little bit too aggressively. And right now, speaking of aggressive, Bloody Head, they've been doing so well to the point where they're actually able to pick through that top 2 spot right now in the overall rankings. And they actually just applied a little bit of pressure to Wills over there, but not quite getting the kill, and eventually just pushing over and really having that nice vantage point. Oh, wow. You can already see here, they can already have a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, probably just chilling before the gunfight. That was pretty cute.
And that's important for the team. We've seen that on, I think it's a qualifiers or probably on day 1, but we've seen that from previously. When the start of the game, all you have to do is think about how fun it is, and the rest of the pressure will be let go. And at that point, Fear No One, I think that's what they're doing. With not enough teams who might be going against them, they have time to have fun and chill around a little bit. But the moment that the zone starts closing in, there might be the start of the gunshots, and they might be in trouble. So hopefully they are prepared as well with all those loots and their strats in there. And I said strats, that's strategy.
Yeah, strategy. Well, speaking of a strategy, the statistic strategy Now I'm being confused. Thanks a lot, Neptune. Now it's okay. I will pull through. Now with the tragedy that we saw a while ago on the side of Wheels, they need to actually pull through. They only have two, I think only just 3 members. But it's a good thing that 1 member actually went in for the pickup, and I feel like 3 members were actually downed a while ago. So again, BB Desolators of a team that was actually struggling the past 2 maps doesn't seem like to be it's their day to day. But having an average skills of 1.8 in Kalahari, oh, that's not going to be very good for them, as 3 maps in Kalahari they've had 0 kills. So that's going to be, very important for them if they've actually done their homework and really had the really amazing sniping skills here for the side of BB Desolators. But here we go! Mark taking a lot of these kills. TFTI, thanks for the information, in trouble, but the wall is going to be the only one that's going to be able to actually get there. But there's going to be 3 members right there. That's never going to be a great spot to be. You're basically going to be trapped right now. And Cruz and Morgana and Mark and Maute, they've been known to be very, very aggressive.
Yes, indeed. The aggressiveness of Blood is in there, and just the rest of Thanks for the Info was just stuck in there like a funnel. They're just funneling the bullets in, and they will be losing 2 of their members. Tinker and Patata will be a little bit too far from them, thus wasn't able to defend and probably pick up. But here we go. We have shots coming in from the side of Kalasagus next, or I think this is Fear No One who's spotting a few enemies, but they will not be getting close at that end. Now, if you look at the placement of WLV Imbalance, they are really starting outside of the circle. Moving in, they might be meeting up with Kalasagus next in here, and the question is, will WLV Imbalance still be able to show us that great gameplay that we've been seeing for the past few days, or will they be getting back to their too passive and start losing those engagement at this point, Beef?
Well, Kalasagus next seems to be like they're pretty good in Kalahari. They're probably in the middle of the pack where they can actually have 10 kills. At one point, they had the Kalahari map with that 10 kills and 1 win. So you already know they can perform in this particular map. And this is a little bit more of an unorthodox map that a lot of teams that usually do well in the other 2 maps do very badly at. So that's basically the time to actually go in there. But here we go. Kalasagus next does go against WLB Imbalance. The 2 teams that we thought is going to be able to actually win this map, and who's going to be able to actually come through. Right now, Kalasagus next seems to be like in trouble, but Imbalance does get eliminated just like that. Red does the damage, and right now they do have a team score of that 4 frags.
And the 4 frags indeed for Kalasagus next. And I thought that grenade from the side of WLV Imbalance will be able to clear off Kalasagus next at this point. But that didn't work. And yeah, WLB Imbalance is being a little bit too passive on this game, and at the moment they went up that hill, that's when they spotted Kalasagus next, and Kalasagus next really needs to move up because they don't want to be stuck in their placement right now, and they want to move up a little bit, at least on a better spot, a sweet spot, wherein despite of whatever happened on the next few days, they will still be in the top 12.
Yeah, they're still going to be in the top 12, hopefully, because all these teams, you don't even need to place high. You just need to place enough to actually go into that top 12. And maybe even put a little bit more points, just a little bit, just so you're going to be secure. But here we go. Pong taking a lot of these shots right now. Gets down, and it's going to be very difficult if you're going up against Staff, a really, really powerful squad right now. And Tyrants seem to be like they're out of the game just like that. And even though they had such a strong run in Purgatory, Kalahari is a different beast of its own, and Saf seems to be like they really want that vengeance. If they're not going to be able to get that win, they're going to be going in for that revenge, taking out Tyrants so early, basically giving them the flag. And then, you know what? 0 kills a Tyrant. That's going to be costly for them, and Saf really, really needed that.
Yes, indeed, and the Kalahari is a different beast of itself, and Saf Deathwish are really a beast in here because they're targeting a new team who's from above the Fear No One right now. I think they're starting to feel the fear. The moment that they get those shots, they are on alert mode. Saf Deathwish right now already stacked up, already healed up, and ready to fight, is going in for the gunshots, and the perfect moment indeed, because that high ground right now is onto the edge, and they might not have that much chance. And Fear No One right here is going in. Oh, Velocity has been taken down. Shoot and Run was able to take them down in there. Shoot and Run going in for those kills as they are going in for a triple kill as well, and Cyrus for the quadra. Cyrus, a person wherein we just saw flew in there for the other days, is now flying in, taking those kills. Now, right now we have Desolator in here, who is on a higher ground, but we have Bloody Head also on a higher ground compared to BB Desolators. Will they be the one who will be engaging next, or will they be moving out as the third zone will be closing in and we are going into the fourth?
Oh, it's going to be a very, very close game. I think this is going to be very interesting. A lot of these teams are actually performing really well. Kalasag moves next. And also Shoot and Run seems to be very impressive right now. And Saf is popping off. So a lot of these squads are doing well, but if they're going to be doing well even up to the very end of the circle, we'll be seeing right now Hawkeye taking a lot of these shots right now, also getting a lot of these shots down for the side of whoever is going to be in their way, but then does get down. Red is going to be the only one, the savior for his team. Kalasag who's next, just going to be like that. Bloody Head's going to be having a lot of these engagements. Thanks for the info, does get eliminated. Now, Bloody Heads, they're having a really nice vantage point right now, and I wish I could actually see what's happening right now with Kalasag who's next, just because there's only one person left to his team. So I'm not quite sure if what happened over there, but hopefully we'll get to see what happens soon. And right now, Saf is going to be right there, needing to go and push into the center of the circle, and Bloody Heads is at a very nice spot to actually take down Saf.
Yes, indeed, a good spot indeed, and they have all the views from all sides. As we see, we just turned our head, and they have the sight of BB Desolator, and BB Desolator trying to avoid those gunshots from above, moving in at the bottom, and the wall is in there just in time. Will he be able to go for a pickup? The grenade will be thrown, and there you go. The rest of Desolators will be moving in. What a good position from Cross right now to be able to stop them at their heels, but still we have Desolators still moving in, and Bloody Heads right now will be shooting at them. Morgana right here trying to put some pressure into this fight, and Maute on the other side going in against Wankai, but no, it is Ninja who went back on the sniper and took them down. Bloody Heads losing one of their teammates. Hopefully they'll be able to go in for the pickup, because they need all 4 members to go in for the fight, and we have in there another kill coming from this side of Saf. We're in. They are still in the battle, a little bit too far though, but Shoot and Run and Fear No One is in on top of each other, Beef.
They're on top of each other right now, and the position a while ago for Shoot and Run was really good, but sadly they weren't able to actually utilize that. But then just like that, Jaska is going to be another person on fire, and for Fear No One, they're going to be in trouble right now. They are a little bit spread out, and also having a lot of the high ground advantage for the side of Shoot and Run. They've been getting a lot of that as well, and for the side of Bloody Heads, Cruz is absolutely having a hard time. Only 1 in Morgana as well, having that 0 kills. So that's going to be very interesting, just because we thought Bloody Heads had the advantage, but everyone else was looking up when they were just the only ones being downed. And just like that, that's the disadvantage of actually having the high ground, is the fact that everyone else is looking right up at you.
Yes, indeed, and there you go, a triple kill coming from Saf McRory with a grenade hit once again, and let's go, finishing off with that double vector. We have Morgana right here trying to survive once again, going solo against all these teams, but here comes Let's Go, firing it off against Wankai and putting up all those glue walls as they heal up. We have a Saf Death Wish right now, going for the pick up, back again at 4 teams. Hopefully they will not be naded at this point, and we have in here a rampage happening. It is pandemonium from all these teams, but Fear No One right now. Kingsman will be taken down from the side, and the rest of the teams of Fear No One will be pushed in by the circle. And here we go. We have Shoot and Run right now trying to run in, but Cyrus will be hit by Darkfire from below, but it is Darkfire who will be going down, and Fear No One will be eliminated. Now Sap Death Wish going in full squad against 2 more teams, and there you go. Shoot and Run will be eliminated. We are now left with Bloody Heads and Sap Death Wish and Morgana going solo at it once again. This might be the end, and it is now the booyah for Sap Death Wish.
Oh, the booyah right now comes in the SAF, and finally, that's what they've been wanting. They've been looking so good all throughout, having an absolute perfect run here in Kalahari. And for the side of Morgana, always being the second and last one left for that top 2 spot. I'm very impressed, actually, that even though that Morgana was the only one here, he's actually able to get placement points, just at least one more point.
Right, and you know what? The healing game actually did it. Wasn't really enough for Bloody Heads Morgana out there. There were too many Saf Deathwish players. So again, like what you said, Beef, Morgana is always at that second placed team and trying to go for that 4v1 clutch or maybe 3v1 clutch. But again, what Morgana actually chose to do is to just go for that healing game, but again, it wasn't enough. And we've seen another circle here, final circle at the refinery area where there's so many platforms. There were so many teams trying to get up on those platforms. Even Fear No One was trying to actually take a piece of that platform, but they were at the edge of it, so there's really no choice for them to get up. But right now, here are the highlights of match number 3. So we saw there Shoot and Run versus Team Wells, wherein we saw Shoot and Run defeating Team Wells earlier on. That was a good revive here coming from Daryl, just adding more numbers to their team. As we see here, Bloody Heads Mark trying to push in to this container. And this is a really bad spot here for Yappy, right, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, they are just like fish in a barrel in there, being shot at by bloody heads. There's no way out because the moment that you go away, you move away, there's another member in there from backside, and nothing from the rest of things for the info can be done because they're a little bit too far on that ledge.
Right, and you know what? Here we see Saf Deathwish eliminating WTS. And one thing I noticed here for this Kalahari match, which you mentioned during this game, is there are other teams at the lower portion of our scoreboard who is actually doing well in Kalahari match, where you could see there Fear No One ending their placement at 5th. And here you can see here Saf Deathwish just gatekeeping everybody, Shoot and Run. Another one is Who's Next. And here you would see Morgana not taking the risk of going down, just going for that healing game together with the 4 members of Saf Deathwish. And again, congratulations for getting that 3rd booyah of the day for Saf Deathwish. We kind of expected this beef from Saf Deathwish, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be another team to actually get the booyah, but coming hot from the last 2 games that we actually had, no doubt about it, Saf definitely wanted to have that revenge, because knowing how they were eliminated so earlier on by Tyrant as well, so that's why they were able to get that, and finally getting the booyah. I think this is their first booyah for Kalahari, so for the side of Saf, it's going to be interesting to finally have that first one. So for Saf, actually, even though that they didn't really have a lot of wins here in Kalahari, they had like a lot of kills. They had average, honestly, like 7 kills. That's crazy for averages.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot for an average 7 kills. So definitely Saf Deathwish made their reset from match number 1, wherein they got eliminated there. That was an error that they did, so they didn't really do that anymore, just focused on the objective, which is they were in that circle and just eliminated everybody that is around them. And now, since we're done with Kalahari, we're going to be back in Bermuda, wherein we saw Saf Deathwish ending early. So the thing now with them is they know their mistake from the first Bermuda match of the day. Now, all they need to do is just do the same thing that they did here in Kalahari. And right now, I think we're moving in to this game. And here we go again. The map of Bermuda, where we see a lot of mountains, a lot of waters as well. Wherein we saw a water circle from yesterday. So let's see, Neptune, if we're going to see that type of circle again. So Neptune, take it away.
And here we go, a mix of industrial and greenery. Bermuda it is, where we're going to see 12 teams once again. This is the second match wherein these teams of Group B and C will be battling it for today on Bermuda. And hopefully the tactics and the mistakes that has been happening from the first match will be corrected and will be neglected at this, or will be not neglected, but will be corrected and will be forgotten at this point, because they need to focus more on how they need to move up the ranks. So far, the flight is coming in from the south to the north and right smack in the middle of the map, and the rest of the teams are just spread out on this area. But we are looking at in here near the hangar, wherein a few teams are already engaging, and we have shots after shots already in there from the side of Wheels right now. Who wants to get back on this fight, Beef?
Yeah, speaking of a team that needs to get back into the fight, Wheels is looking so weak in this day number 5. They're usually high fraggers. They can usually take a gunfight, but sadly, they're just not able to get that. Usually, Embelor and another person in his team is going to be, I don't know, a duo at the very end, and they always just struggle. I think they just need to be a little bit more smarter at the earlier rounds. And but just like that, just speaking of Embelor, takes out 2. And yep, there you go. This is what I'm saying. Is like with Embelor, it's going to be the playmaker for his team. Wheels need to go in for that early fight, yes, and that was an earlier enough fight to be able to actually get a lot of these kills and not receive that back for them. So really great for the side of Wheels to actually go and engage, knowing when to pick a lot of these kills, and they're doing such a great job here so far. Great opening.
Yes, indeed. Great opening indeed for the side of Embalor in there. And the moment that they got that kill, they just backed off and went back and probably gather more loot. And here comes Forbeats right now on a launch pad, trying to move in from building to building, and might be seeing a different team in here. Ooh, what a good placement in here from Forbeats, taking shots at this crane. The question is, how will you be going down? And there you go, shots are being fired right now. And this might be trouble. The glue wall will be in there, but Yappy and Tinker will be right below him, and Forbids will be going for the heal. Now, hopefully, the rest of the teams of Saf Deathwish will be able to come there in time and cover him and fire back. Otherwise, that will be the end for that member. But here we go. We have a Genesis right now. Ooh, already has sights on that, but will not finish them off. We have Genesis who's just moving away on this gunfight. And there you go. It is Daryl who is taking that cleaning up that fight, and shoot and run right now is up to a good start. They are not going in for the early engagement, but they will be backing off the moment that they are disadvantaged. And that is what good tactic is Battle Royale.
Forbids just had the bad spot. Even though, yes, you are going to be having that high ground, giving that information, but you shouldn't have given a lot of the shots. It's because you're going to be giving your basically information to the opposing team that you're there. So that was a very bad push, and Saf right now is going to be down 1 person. And even though that you're going to be going up against, thanks for the info, a weaker team, they were able to utilize that. And I think that push, and not even waiting for the rest of the Saf members, that could have pulled through if Saf was actually near enough to be able to distract that. But sadly, they weren't able to actually utilize that. And I'm not even sure if they even got down 1 person from the side of thanks for the info. So I feel like that push could have been a little bit too costly for their side, as they are down 1 person. 3 members to the team of Saf, and usually they are going to be having a really great time in Bermuda, but it just looks like they're, I think they got a little bit too tired in Kalahari. But having that real, though, they don't need to have a lot of these points to place.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they already invested a few more points and kills as well from the previous matches. All they have to do is just hang back and just take those picks, because despite of their position right now on the leaderboards, they just need to take it easy and just don't move up too high, because we're just looking at the top 12. But speaking of standings from the previous match, here comes Deathwish, or Saf Deathwish, in there taking 23 points, wherein Shoot and Run was able to go in and take 17 points. Bloody Heads with 13, Kalasag who's next with 12, VB Desolators and Fear No One both at 8 points. We have Thanks for the Info and Govilam Wills in there with 4 points, VPH Velocity with 2, Tyrants, WTS Tyrants in there with 1, and WLV Imbalance and number 1 at 0 from match number 3.
Oh, WLBM bounce is something that's very, very unfortunate to see just because they were doing so well the other days. And just sadly, they didn't really quite pull through in this particular day. They haven't really had a lot of placement points and kills as well. So hopefully, in our last two matchups after this one, and maybe even in this particular map, maybe they can actually get a lot of these points as well. So right now, Sap yet again just strolling through Bullseye, just being around the circle, really just having the perimeter down, just seeing if they can actually go in for the push. But it's going to be very difficult right now because the circle is going to be closing right now for 5 seconds left on the clock. They need to go and push into the circle, really go into the center and position themselves well. If not, they might actually go in there for the gatekeep for the other players.
Yes, indeed. And this is a tactic where we've seen so much fail. If you stay outside of circle too much or too far, you will either die out of that circle or will be stopped by a few enemies who's just waiting for anyone who creep in and slowly move in to that zone. But here we go. We have Bloody Heads, another team who's doing too well or so well on this match, and they're not going in for the early engagement. They're just taking their time because they don't want what happened earlier to happen once again. All they need is 4 members, and yeah, number 2 is good in the placement points and they have a lot of kills, but I think they're aiming for a booyah at this point, Beef.
Yeah, a booyah is going to be very nice just because they had one booyah already in Bermuda a while ago, opening up match number 1 with such a bang. So that's very important for the side of Bloody Head. And right now, there seem to be like such an amazing kill leader for their name. And for the last matchup, having an impressive run as well, having that 3rd spot with 13 points. You already know that they're so consistently on top in the past few matches and this past day. So right now, another team, speaking of consistency, Velocity seems to be like they're actually having a pretty difficult time with consistency just because they don't really do well in Bermuda, they don't do well in Kalahari, and usually Purgatory is the name of the game for them, having that 1 kill. But here we go, Kalasak, who's next, is going to be 1 man down just like that already. Not quite sure who's the person actually giving the shot, but I think it's going to be VP Desolators giving the pressure on to Kalasag.
Yeah, Kalasag, who's next right now, is actually not, apart from the ones from above red right here, we have Wheels in there from the far side. So we have Wheels just waiting for there, and the blue wall will be a signal. But there goes Daryl for the takedown against Funky, and it is a shoot and run right now. Who is on top of this tower, I believe? We have Hawkeye going in for the flank, and Red is not moving, not really showing that much of a fear or trying to get away, but hopefully they'll be able to go in for that fight and get back. And Daryl right now is in here a little bit too far from this fight and still taking shots again. Kalasag, who's next? Red, and Red will be taken down, but Fear No One Kingsman was able to clean that up. So they know already, or Shoot and Run know already, that there's Fear No One on the other side of this hill, and that's something that they need to watch out.
Yeah, they need to watch out. They need to be able to play smart and really go in there for cover up. But then here we go, Embalor taking a lot of these shots yet again, having one to his name. Having a lot of fun over here. Velocity is going to be in trouble, but then Kleb is going to be down just like that and has the possibility to actually get taken out of the game. But then Velocity still in trouble. The grenade does go down, doesn't really quite do enough of that damage. But then here we go, the aggression coming in from Embalor yet again, going in there for the sniper. But it's going to be very difficult for him to actually go in for the close engagement just because the sniper isn't going to be the best weapon of your choice over here. Needs to get a shotgun or a double vector, but I'm not quite sure if he actually has that. The pickup is going to be coming through right now for Alforte, but not quite getting it just like that. And we're going to be having 2 men down already. Wills not quite pushing through here with the aggression, not really going in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice of weapon that they have to think about, because we have, Desolators will be taken down in there on the other side and Shoot and Run. So simultaneous battle is happening right here as VPH Velocity is going in against Wills. And, the surprise hit in there. Retu's right now almost taken down, and the shots coming from this team. And there you go, they just boxed them off, and Wills will be taking down Alforte in there on the double vector. And that is what you need. Those SMGs is what you need in a close battle engagement compared to what Embalor was doing earlier on a sniper on a close 1v1. That will not really work that much, especially on the length of that sniper being too close. I think it's just a face-to-face, and then you pull up a sniper, it will just go over the shoulder.
Goodness, Wheels just can't catch a break. They keep going in for the aggression, but yeah, like what you said, you had a very good point. You need to have guns that do well close range if you want to be more aggressive. Embelor went in there with a sniper, and honestly, he could have done that if they actually performed. I mean, not every day will you have a really good performance, but you're already at group number 5. I mean, day number 5 here, you should actually perform even better than you were the past few days. So it just seems like Will's having a really hard time the more time passes, so they really need to pull through. And for Velocity, they were able to take advantage of that and actually spotting Fear No One up in that tower. We already know that this tower is not going to be very good for a team, especially if you're going to be spotted.
Yeah, the bears are in there, cuddle up. I think they're a little bit too cold in there. The teddy bears from Fear No One is just huddling up in there. And VPH Velocity right now, Retus is, well, didn't really spam shot that tower, but if he did, and thinking or not thinking of ammos right now, he might be able to take one on a wall bang. Probably taking one or two. If they have grenade as well, probably one can go in for the flank and take them down, but no one is going for the push because they're seeing a few members in there from above as well who might shoot them down if they go out into the open. But Fear No One is still in the cross side of this teams, as we have Insane right now, who has already picked up a few from their drops and just regrouping and recharging to go in for the next battle.
Velocity is stocking up with their weapons right now, and it's going to be very difficult for other teams to actually go in there for the fight. I feel like this is probably going to be one of the stronger teams into that final circle if they don't make any mistakes, that is. So having a lot of these guns right now is very impressive, but here we go. WLV imbalanced. Going to be very passive, only having one kill. Azia is going to be leading that for her pack, but then again, WLV imbalanced have been struggling for this particular day, so they need to go in for the kill. Thanks for the information. It's going to be a little bit spread out, and the information is going to be given to all of them, knowing that there's going to be one team here. But here we go. The push is going to be coming in, but then how long can they actually take that? That's going to be, there's a lot of things for the information member is going to be up there, but then it's going to be very nice for them. Gets a lot of kills. 2, 3. No, finally gets to finish up the whole squad right now. For thanks for the info, and it's going to be only one person left for that team, and it's going to be very dire. Fear No One gets eliminated. Shoot and run finally gets the kill. Velocity wasn't able to actually utilize all of that, but then shoot and run seems to be, you know, not going to be in favor because Velocity is going to be right over there having the patience gameplay.
Yes, indeed, and they had the patience. They didn't went in for the push. It is shoot and run who eliminated Fear No One at this point. Who VPH Velocity was waiting for. Now it's time wherein Genesis will be in here, and they will be hiding out because the danger is coming in. Missiles will be coming or raining from the skies as we have WLV imbalance. Remember that push earlier was just Tinker who is left on this team, and WTS Diamond will be on the other side. This will be more chances for WLV imbalance to get more kills if they survive and go against WTS Tyrant as well.
Yep, it's going to be very difficult right now for Imbalance to actually pull through. And even though they actually have that upper ground, there's still a lot of people surrounding them. But then they were able to actually get a lot of these kills. There's only going to be one member, for thanks for the info, left over there on the upper hill. And they need to worry about just one person, Fear. Might actually pull through, might even get one frag, so they need to get rid of Fear as well. There's going to be 2 members right now of Tyrants over that in that little shanty house that we can see here. And for thanks for the info, need to stay put as well, just because there's so many people, and Tinker is going to be able to actually pull through. Gonna get a lot of the minus points right now from the circle, trying to see if they actually be safe.
Yes, indeed, and you need to be safe as WLV is splitting up a little bit. A few members is heading over into the circle, and there you go. Tinker will be taken out by Wiz in there, being waited on, and WTS Tyrant just waiting too long on that area. Pong will be left behind as Fear and the rest of WTS will be rushing in. But here we go, Azia right now with a vehicle gameplay. I think they will try to go in, and there you go on the other side of the map. Saf McCrory finishing off. Who's next in there? And we're now left to 6, and the battle is on. WLV Imbalance Tyrants right now going in for this close encounter battle. Vanity will be going down, but the rest of the teams of WTS Tyrants right now will be firing back, and Ross will be eliminated or knocked down as well. It is now left to Wiz in here, who is just healing up and no chance to go for the wake up for the rest of the team.
That was a really bad push for us at WLV, knowing very well that they could have actually had a lot of these kills, but no imbalance. Gets taken out. Was a little bit too greedy, wanted to have a lot of those kills, but just in the zone being played, the bloody heads just played them. Really taking advantage of the fact that they know that they're going to be busy taking out, thanks for the info, and Tyrants as well. So they went in there, took basically just one person, just took the job and did such a great job at that. Morgana, Maute, and also going to be one more, Cruz, going to be the only people left for bloody heads. McRory, Let's Go, and Daymoon left for Saf. VPH, Carpi, Janelle, and one more person is going to be left for Velocity and SNR as well. So a lot of these teams, only Velocity I think is going to be that full squad that might have a numbers advantage at the very end. Genesis is going to be in trouble. He's going to be the only one left in shoot and run, and they know where he is, so it's going to be very difficult for him to actually push, especially he's not going to have any cover.
Yes, indeed. The cover is what you need. Plus, the circle is closing in. So, glue wall will be helpful at this point as the circle closes in to this next one. We're going into the fifth, but there you go. We have Velocity was able to shot down, go in for the shot down in there, and we have a triple kill from the side of BPH Velocity, but Janelle is being taken in there, and we have a Carpi who might be in trouble. Oh! Retus was taken down now. The glue wall is needed for them to go in for the pickup for the two more members. Janelle right now is in there, who's already picked up. Restus is the next one. Jumping over is Carpi, trying to get some cover and healing up. On the other side, we have Bloody Heads, who has the high ground. They have the advantage. And Cruz right now, knowing the shots coming from Cruz, that might be the next kill leader at this point. But we have in here Saf McRory taking shots against BPH, and a grenade will be thrown at them. Cruz, the only one remaining from Bloody Heads, as Damon is just waiting for anyone who takes a peek. Oh, Maute will be in there as well, but the push right now from Saf, and there you go. We have a Let's Go going in for those push, and Janelle, the only surviving member from the side. No, there's another one. Insane will also be surviving, but Maute right there will be going in for that push. Insane will be hit by that car and will be jumping back on, and there you go. Velocity will be eliminated at this point. It's now left to two teams in here, and Sap Dame will still cover. Maute right now is just moving in from the side, and McRory together with the rest of the teams, they need to go in for the push. Grenade gameplay coming from Maute. McRory right here will be staying. Damon going for the flank. Will they be able to pinch him in? Maute right now, double vector in hand, moving in for the other side. The glue wall will be released, and there you go. We have Maute right there going in for those shots. Will this be a clutch for their side? One down already, and Bloody Head takes this. Booyah!
McRory always finishes the job with such amazing skill. He is the MVP, and not only in this matchup, but for a lot of the maps that we had for today. A Booyah number 2 for the side of Saf. That was so amazing. Damon, McRory, Let's Go, Forbids, and Toxics. Now that is such an amazing push here for Saf, being consistently on top. Now that is the name of their game.
And that is indeed the name of their game. Saf, Datwish getting the second Booyah. It's actually consistent that they're actually coming from 6. They came from second, then they got the Booyah, and then they get another Booyah here in Bermuda. So again, Saf Datwish finding the right formula now for day number 5, and I think they're on a roll right now. But I want to commend Bloody Head's Maute. That was an amazing 2v1 situation. He was able to knock one down, almost getting the clutch. And unfortunately, they are still at second. The question now is, when will they try to clutch it out? We still have 2 more maps left, but we are looking at the highlights here, guys, from that game. This is match number 4. We have here Team Shoot and Run versus VB Desolators, and we can see here the push coming from Team SNR. BB Desolators will get eliminated here in this engagement as we switch over here to VPH. VPH, though, I want to talk about VPH, Neptune. They were like all 4 alive versus 1 SNR from afar, 2 Bloody Heads, and 2 Saf. How did it went down to only just Saf and Bloody Heads with all 4 members getting taken out for velocity?
I think being in a crossfire in there, VPH, despite of being a full squad, they will be hit one by one from either side, from either team. But we have that is possibility, especially when we have 8 teams or 7 teams who's already running into the circle, and a few of them will be shooting at each other. And I think this is where Sap was just trying to go and run them down, and they were taken one at a time.
And that was actually a really amazing push coming from one of the members of Saf Deathwish. It was basically confusing VPH, and it actually led them to being killed eventually, and Saf Deathwish able to actually get that booyah. So what a great call there coming from Saf Deathwish, isn't it, Beef?
Yeah, I think the reason why that velocity actually went down was that they were a little bit too preoccupied with Bloody Heads at the other side of the map that they didn't even realize there was Saf over there, and Saf was just patiently waiting, just really like crawling very, very passively, but then knowing when to engage just like that, knowing that they were too busy, that's when they actually went in for the strike. The perfection of the timing of Saf really always pulling through for them.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, we are moving into the next map, and before into the next map, which is Purgatory, we're gonna have a short break. My dog here really needs me right now, Beef and Neptune. Again, my name is Cuckoo TV, guys. We're gonna be on a short break, guys, so see you around. And welcome back, guys, here in Free Fire Philippines Open. My name is Cuckoo TV, your host. I have here Beef, Mommy, and Neptune, our two lovely casters. Just doing a great job, by the way, on the commentary for all of the 4 games that already have done. But again, guys, we are in for a treat here, Group B and Group C. We've seen Saf Detwish getting 2 booyahs in a row. I'm pretty sure, I'm looking and I'm predicting that they might get another booyah here coming in Purgatory. Their confidence level, guys, it is really high right now. It is really high that they might probably get 2 booyahs up next. Is that possible, though, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, with the tactics that they have, the way they're moving in against the enemy, it is possible that they get another booyah. Yeah, but we're moving into a different map, so we'll have to find out if the other teams who are doing good on Purgatory will be able to go against them that well, but we'll have to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to find out, but before any of those happened, we have the round standings here from match 4, and look how balanced it is for the scores, actually. Saf Detwish didn't really, find enemies to kill. They just went for that placement for this round. So they're not really ranked number 1 for this round. They're ranked number 2 with only 15 points. So this is an interesting graphic that we're seeing right now with Shoot and Run getting that top number 1 with 9 total kills. So 16 points for them. VPH Velocity getting 15. And then we have Bloody Head getting 14. WLV Imbalance getting 11. Tyrants getting 8. Fear No One getting 4. Thanks for the info getting 4 as well. Kalasagu's next getting 4 as well. Now for the 3 others, Govilam Wells got 2. VB Desolators in number 1 not getting any point. So from the things that I've seen here for the teams for Group C, I've seen thanks for the info, and the other teams like Wells, so they're not really that consistent. I mean, they always get pushed by the other teams. But before we talk about even further about that, overall standings is up on your screens right now, guys. And Bloody Head already taking over that ranked number 1 spot over AV Ligers. But again, AV Ligers, guys, is not playing today. So most definitely they will get off from that rank number 1. Probably they will get it back once they play again. But on third, Saf Detwish. Saf Detwish just leading the way right now. Now at third, 216 points for them. Wells with 190. Tyrants with 189. 187 for Team Almighty. Radicals here. PXG Radicals with 182. VB Desolators getting 170 points. Trot Legends 157. Kalasaku's next with 148. And then 128 for Shoot and Run. Team Schnauzer will be on the 12th place with 117. But it is really close for the 13th and below. We have Team VPH Velocity with 116 points. 115 for WLV Imbalance. 101 for Fear No One, Kiss Mumu with 94, 72 for Thanks for the Info, and number 1 with 28. I think this is it for number 1, Beef, right? I mean, they cannot really get up in that standings anymore.
Yeah, that was actually very, very impressive to actually see. And for Shoot and Run, I feel like I just want to say I really want to commend them. They actually went up a rank, 3 tiers to their name. So also for the side of WLV, though, they went down. So that's the reason why you need to be consistently good in your games. They were at an uncomfortable 12th spot, and sadly, they dropped into that 14th. So they need to do well in this particular map and for the next one as well. And actually, I just want to say that for the side of this particular map, Purgatory Bloody Heads has been very good. They had 1 booyah, and for Saf, they also had 1 booyah as well. And it's going to be interesting how they actually go in there, especially knowing that Tyrant might be good here as well.
Yeah, definitely. Tyrant is really good with with Purgatory map, and they are currently with an average skill count of 4.3. So that's an average for me. And by the way, guys, if you haven't really watched, or if you were not able to watch the 4 previous maps, here are the winners, or the teams that got the booyahs for round 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. But again, we're going in now to Purgatory map, and again, we saw from the previous game, whoever won that Purgatory map, will they win it again here in match number 5? So Neptune and Beef, take it away.
And here we go. We are now in Purgatory, and we'll have to find out, guys, whether those who will be dying and eliminated on this match be going into heaven or hell, as the team's already going in for the flight from the north up into the southwest of this area. We have Mode House in there, already dominated by one team, and Kalasagu's Nexus is already spread out just below them. We have a few members in there, a few teams in there already on the side of Brasilia, and I think 3 teams will be in here going in for this fight. So it's thanks for the info who is on the Mode House, and they only have a zip line in there to go into the main area.
Absolutely. And for the side of, thanks for the info, being at the very bottom of the pack is not going to be good. They need to really filter out all of the points, and they only have a day and a match left to actually pull through. If they actually be able to pull that God move, maybe they can actually go into heaven, like what you said a while ago. But for the side of the other teams that already had a win over here, we did have Bloody Head, Saf, and also for Tyrant. So you already know these teams are going to be absolutely powerful here. And for Saf, today, they had 2 wins already. They were able to win Kalahari and Bermuda. I feel like they're just having a collection right now. If they win Purgatory, I feel like it's going to be basically Thanos collecting all of the Infinity Stones, and basically with Saf, they're just going to be able to be overpowered. But then, just like that, First Blood is going to be ensuing right outside of the scene, but hopefully we get to see some engagement right now for Fear No One.
Yeah, indeed. And Fear No One, I know they're all cheery and all these teddy bears in here for Fear No One. It looks like that there's someone that needs not to be feared. But here we go. Speaking of fear, we have Hive right now, who is in there going in against VPH Velocity. Insane right now, insanely crouching in there, trying to avoid the gunshots. And we have Hive in here trying to move in as well, regrouping with the rest of the teams. Wankai right there, just peeking out and probably providing cover with the rest of those teams who's taking shots against VPH Velocity. Wankai is in here looking in from the side. Oh, another battle will be happening, and it's Tyrant and Wheels in here. Embalor, the sniper and the shooter, will be taking shots against Fear and will be receiving that damage from Embalor. But where are the rest of the teams? I know Embalor has this tower, and there you go. The rest of the teams are just right behind them. But WTS Tyrant has this much cover, and they might be surviving this gunfight.
Embalor, the long shot king, always doing so much damage from afar. And right now, they're applying absolute pressure right now from the side of Tyrant, and Kleb does go down, needs to go in for the pickup. Seems to be like they're actually having a hard time, and Embalor is going to be the assist right now, but he's a little bit too far away, and a lot of the trailers are actually going to be protecting him. But then, finally, Kleb does get revived right now from the teammate, but still going to be having a hard time, still having 0 kills. I feel like for the side of Tyrant, they really are doing a good job at just really, I think they're going to be pushing just a little bit right now. Pong is going to be right beside Embalor, though. That's a very cheeky spot. Not quite sure if Embalor actually knows that he's going to be there.
Yeah, we'll have to find out if Embalor aims that way. Yep, Pong has been sighted, but I think it's Aris and Fear who are on the sides of Embalor right now. And I think we just saw Abnoy in there going in for the flank, trying to go in flank Tyrants right here, but they are on the high ground. They are not ground compared to those of the rest of Wales, and they're spread out too thin. So I think this is just Embalor distracting WTS Tyrant as they go in for the loots, or probably a better strategy to, or a better strat to go in for the fight against Tyrant.
Oh, Neptune yet again tries to go for the strategy. But honestly, I really love that word. I'm going to start using that all the time when I cast now. The tragedy that was the strategy of Wheels in the past few matches weren't quite pulling after them. They need to pull through. They've been struggling in this particular day, and they usually do well. And for Purgatory, I know it's kind of like a, from what I know, it's an okay matchup for them. 4.5 average kills, and in that one Purgatory match, they actually had 11, but they're not really quite consistent in this particular map because I remember from that day number 4, they actually had 0 kills in that one Purgatory matchup. So they need to pull through and be consistent with their kills, and really going up against Tyrants, that is not going to be an easy feat. Even though they were able to add that pressure onto them, it's just going to be very hard. But here we go. Cleb has a very nice spot, but it's going to be just a little bit too fast for Lottie, and Aries as well is going to be right over there. Cleb has a really clean shot, but it's going to be a little bit too hard for them to actually go in for the catch-up. And the bridge needs to be, honestly, cleared out for the side of Wheels.
Yes, indeed. And Wheels in there will be left. I think the rest of WTS Tyrant is just fleeing the scene, probably going for the backstab. But we just saw in here 1 kill being taken by Kalasag, who's next against Thanks for the Info. But thanking them for the info will not be enough. We just need to go in and see them fight. But here we go. Alforte was able to go in for those shots. And I think it's WTS Tyrants who's going in for the push. Here comes Lodi right now, being too aggressive in their areas, taking down Abnoy. Here comes Alforte with those with the Uzi in there, and Wills will be eliminated quickly as soon as they engage.
Wheels, what? Oh man, just when you thought Wheels is actually going to be doing well, Tyrants just respond so crazy. And you already know if you are going to be Tyrants, they have the upper hand. They already won this map before. And with the side of Wheels, they just couldn't read the room and they just went in for the aggression. And the past few rounds, they've been struggling already with being aggressive. So being aggressive yet again really was bad for them. They just probably should have played passive. And I think for these teams, they know that Wheels is going to be really aggressive. So they already know how to counter that. And for the side of Tyrants, perfection on their side for that response, taking out Wheels so earlier on. And it's going to be basically team number 11 for their side.
Yes, indeed. I mean, perfection indeed. Just when we thought Wills has the upper hand on that situation because they have the information. They know where Tyrants are. But speaking of information, here is Tinker right now, who is seeing 2 of the members, and they were staying a little bit too far from the center of the map, and they went into this area, and I think it's only a few of them who was able to cross the waters at this point. And Kalasag, who's next, will be going against them as the circle slowly moves in. Will there be a chance for Tanks for the info to be able to get away or get past that cover that is being done by Who's Next?
Who's next on the list right now? It's going to be very interesting if they can actually pull through. But let's take a look at Bloody Heads right now. Cruz going to be such a formidable sniper, and Saf is going to be looking like they're finally going to get their matchup. Bloody Heads versus Saf right now. It's basically going to be Bloody Heads really wanting to have this win, having that hot streak a while ago in that Bermuda map. And Saf is going to be not an easy opponent to actually conquer, but for them, they're both proving to be they're really, really good squads. And Saf right now with the hot 2-streak win needs to be put in their place, and Bloody Heads, I think, is the team for that.
Yeah, I think this is an advantage for Bloody Heads. Going in against Saf Deathwish with a full squad, this is a balanced battle compared to what's been happening earlier on, where it's only I think that was 1 member only from Bloody Heads, Maute, who went in, or probably Morgana, who will be left in there going against a full squad or probably less. And that is their advantage at this point. But here we go. We have WLB in balance right now. Oh, this is a chase, guys. This is a chase. Shoot and run right now is going in. Shoot and ride. And WLB in balance just on their tail. They are going in here too aggressive on these vehicles right now. We have the cars, we have the motorcycles, and hopefully we will see gunshots as well. Speaking of gunshots, here comes the gunshots. Still Cruz with Saf on their sights, and Maute right now slowly moving in for the flank. And here comes the map right here, and we have shoot and run trying to move in onto the circle. WLB inbounds will be left in there, and they will be going in onto the site of Desolator, we're in Desolator right there, is really decimating them with only one member, and there goes WLV Balance being taken down. I think that was just a sight kill coming from BB Desolator.
WLV in balance, that was a terrible push. Yeah, Desolators was already there. They were chilling. And then out of nowhere, WLV in balance just knocked on their doors, basically just said, hello, please kill us and please put us in our place at that 10th spot. And for Desolators, they just took a lot of these free kills. And I don't know, with Imbalance, they went in there a little bit too aggressively, doing whatever shoot and run was actually doing the past few days, not learning that that's probably the worst thing that you can do in this particular map. So, especially knowing that Imbalance is not going to be the most aggressive, and they usually have a better chance if they're a little bit more passive. But speaking of passive, Bloody Heads versus Saf right now, both playing a little bit passive with Maote. Going in there a little bit, but Velocity is going to be out so early. Tyrants actually takes out Velocity out in the map. But here we go. The push is going to be coming in, and Mark is going to be in there for the assist.
And there you go, the assist there is from Mark, but Maote right now is taking damage as they go in for the push. I think it's a double vector, might not be working that well as Saf has themselves covered that much. And there you go, Cruz in there from the other side, taking on 4 bids, and here comes the rush. And knowing that one has already fell down from the side of Saf Death Wish, this is their time to go in for a full assault as the rest of the team will be rushing in, and Mark will be there. Look out on left, and we have in their Cruz on right. I think they're just waiting for their chance and not letting them make that pickup from the side of Saf.
No, I don't want to look at Desolator. Come on, go back to Saf. Go back to Saf. But hopefully we're going to be seeing it in the kill feed right now, what is going to be happening. But then let's take a cruise. I think we just needed... Oh, there you go. The observers heard us. Here we go. Bloody Heads versus Saf right now. As Saf, one member does go down. It's going to be very hard for them to actually go in, knowing that they aren't going to be having the advantage of numbers. But Morgana taking shots as well. Needs to go in for the heal, but no, doesn't actually go back down for the fight of Nokorori, knowing that they are actually able to actually get that kill. Ooh. 3 HP left for Morgana. It's going to be very hard as Saf is finally going in for the push.
And there you go, Morgana has been taken down by Let's Go. A little bit risky move in there by Morgana, and yeah, they have been taken down, but Morgana is the only one down from this side. But Bloody Heads is doing great job. Damon has already been taken down, and Forbids is backing off a little bit. Morgana is back on his feet, and the rest of the teams are going for the rush. It's now 2v4 in here. Forbids in the sides of Cruz, and Cruz right here just taking shots, but there goes a comeback. Forbids taking out Cruz in there, but Maote right here going in back against Forbids. There's only one more member left, and Gillybush as he goes. Saf Deathwish will be taken down by Cruz from afar, and there you go. The feud is over. It is Bloody Heads taking over this fight.
The feud is over, and David, we always see these two teams in that top 3 every single matchup. Maote is going to provide that distraction, causing a lot of chaos, and having a lot of his teammates going in for the assist was an amazing play. Maote went in there not too aggressively to the point where he'd actually lose his life, but getting enough damage and doing enough chaos to distract them, knowing that there's going to be basically a lot of angles being covered for the side right now for Bloody Head. So finally, the Goliath does go down and basically just ruins the dream of having one more win. Bloody Head seems to be like they want a second of their own for day number 5. But then looking over here, it's going to be thanks for the info, and it's going to be Kalasag who's next. Their eyes on the prize.
Yeah, eyes on the prize indeed. They are spread out, not too thin though. They have every sides covered. They have this highest ground on this area, and thanks for the info will be on their sides as well. Now the question is, thanks for the info will they be moving in early on before the zone closes in 23 seconds, or will they be left behind as Kalsag who's next will just be waiting for them, probably gatekeeping them and not letting them in this fight?
Not quite letting in the gate, as you need a pass to actually get into Hell's Gate. And right now we can see here red is going to be the toll maker to get that bayad, to get the payment for you to actually cross over. And right now, Red is going to be the information. He really gives it to his team. And for the side of thanks for the info, it's going to be very hard for them to actually go and cross over this particular gate, just because you can see here it's such an awesome gatekeep here by the side of Kalasak, who's next. But here we go. Saber is going to be taking some shots, but good for him that he actually didn't want to engage that. But Kalasak, who's next versus Desolator, seems to be like in the side of Myth. He finally gets that opening frag. Desolators gets one. No, Myth gets the kill for them. One down for Desolators. Going to be very difficult right now because they're just so open. And thanks for the info as well. Really thanking Desolators that they were actually able to distract Kalasak, who's next.
Yeah, and Kalasaku's next in there, doing a great job for spotting the rest of BB Desolators. And I think we are seeing shots as well from the other side at the bottom of the hill. But we still have Red in here. I think Red is the guard right now. And thanks for the info, doesn't have an ID to enter this circle just yet. We have Cruz in there going in for those shots from across. And this is Desolator Ninja right now on the sides of Red. So Red needs to back off because they need to get a little bit of cover because Bloody Heads is in there, going in for those shots. Oh no, it's Bloody Heads going in against WTS Tyrant right now. Myth is still on a gunshot and trying to go in against Ninja right now, but covered on that glue wall, might not be able to survive as we have a Myth in here trying to go in for those snipers, not really connecting that much on this point.
Wow, such an amazing connection over there. And from outside of the screen, we actually saw Bloody Heads and Shoot and Run basically go up against Tyrants. And that's what Bloody Head wants. And having Shoot and Run going to possibly be a little bit down just because they're leaving everything right now. It's going to be Tyrants versus Shoot and Run. But then right behind the corner is going to be Bloody Heads. So that's something you don't want to give. You need to check the map. You need to make sure. Just like that, Desolators does get eliminated right now. It's going to be a very early takedown just for the side of Desolator. Has always been struggling, but here we go. Cruz yet again with the shots, but doesn't quite pull through as the sniper is not going to be the perfect matchup for a lot of these SMGs. Does go down, but Morgana needs to go in for the assist. And finally, the pickup does really pull through, and Fear No One seems to be like their efforts were actually scrapped.
Yeah, they have been scrapped. They're already one man down from this fight. And Prince right now are being thrown that grenade and being gate kept in here by Cruz. So the sniper, yeah, didn't work that well. But the rest of the teams were able to cover them that quickly. And Kingsman right now on the sides of Mark as well as Darkfire. And the zone's moving slowly in here. The UAV has been released and this might show where the rest of the teams are. But the question is, knowing where the teams are, is that enough for you to make them move inside of this circle, or will you be dying out of the bullets from the enemies the moment that you move out those cover?
It's going to be absolutely hellfire right now as Bloody Heads is going to have a lot of these kills. But then just like that, we see Kalasak who's next with the quadra kill. Such important kills right now for the side of Kalasak who's next, doing such an amazing job. And I feel like for Kalasak who's next, they're going to be basically the team that's going to be meeting Bloody Heads. And for Fear No One, they're going to be in trouble right now as the zone is not going to be on their favor. And for the side of Kalasak who's next, they're right in the center already. Still 3 members for their name, but then Red does take a lot of the
And here we go on. We have Red taking a lot of damage in there. But on the other side, on the left side, we have Bloody Heads going in against this fight. But no, Fear No One will be eliminated there. Morgana is still surviving together with another member. Now we have a Fear in there being knocked down. Lodi's the only one remaining from side of Tyrants right now, but still trying to dodge those bullets and equipping himself with that grenade rocket launcher right now. I think he will be doing some damage, but Lodi needs to heal up because we have Morgana on the side who might be flanking them. Morgana right now moving slowly on the side. We are now left with 2 members or 2 teams in here. Morgana in here, double vector in hand as Lodi right now with an FR. There you go. We have in there Tyrants being taken down and Bloody Heads finally going in for this Booyah mark as an MVP. And Maute right now, Morgana and Cruz following them. There goes the win. And finally, Bloody Head takes this Booyah.
And we are back here, guys. Again, unfortunately, we don't have beef as there's some issues with her internet. But for the meantime, congratulations to Team Bloody Heads getting that booyah for match number 5. And you know what, Neptune? The moment when I saw Bloody Heads defeating Saf Deathwish, I knew already who's gonna win it, right? I mean, isn't it that the same thoughts that you have there, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the moment wherein Bloody Head is sealing the deal that if we can only go second place because of Saf in there on our way. If we take out Saf early on, then we might be able to go in and take the booyah at this point, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and what they did is actually it's a 4v4 with Saf Deathwish, so they have an even numbers here against that top team, and this goes to show Neptune that Bloody Heads can really beat Saf Deathwish with all of their 4 members alive. It has always been that Bloody Heads has only like maybe 1 or 2 members alive at the very end, but this time around they were able to defeat them. We will see that in the highlights as we see here Team Wells got eliminated early. Now we see here Kalasagu's next. We saw them, we will see them later on top of a hill, sniping down some people, but here is the battle between WLV Imbalance and Team BB Desolators as WLV Imbalance got eliminated. This is what we're talking about here, Neptune. This is where Team Bloody Heads just no fear at all, pushing Team Saf Deathwish, who won 2 booyahs already for today, and they eliminated them really easy until to the point that they go through the whole game and able to get that booyah.
And it's a good thing for Bloody Heads as well to survive all with all members, despite of being head-to-head against Saf Deathwish. Because the moment, yeah, you might be able to go against Saf Deathwish and take them down, eliminate them, but if you lose at least 1 or 2 members, it might be difficult for them to get that booyah. And knowing that their tactics depends on one rushing in and another on the backup, it might be lessened. Their strats will be lessened as soon as they lose 1 or 2 members.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull out one of your vocabulary, Neptune. That was a strategy for Saf Deathwish, and you saw there we have our Tagalog stream just for a bit second. Again, guys, we are on the English stream. If you don't understand the language, you can go over to the Tagalog stream, which is also streaming on the other side of Garina's Free Fire page. And guys, again, hopefully for Beef, hopefully she gets back soon. Again, for the people here in the Philippines, since this is Free Fire Philippines Open, I hope you are all safe, because right now we're experiencing really such heavy rains. There's floods outside. And it's a good thing that Neptune and I, Kuku TV, we're so safe right now, safe and sound, bringing you the commentary that you deserve. And guys, again, congratulations for Team Bloody Heads as they found that right formula, beat Saf Deathwish, and we win at the end. Maybe that's gonna be the next next story again, coming in at Kalahari, which is gonna be the final match of league stage day number 5. What are your thoughts there, Neptune, with the game plan of Bloody Heads going in at game 6 rather?
Yeah, well, so far it's Bloody Heads who's just staying in there against Saf for the past 3 matches. So if they'll be able to make it, well, first they need to eliminate Saf if they want to make it over and think that they will be winning that booyah, and probably a full squad, or yeah, they can end with 2 members in there, because so far Morgana, Maute, and the rest of the teams are doing great despite of losing a few members. So they still have a chance in there, and the only thing that's on their way to go there, stopping them to go for the booyah, is Saf Deathwish. So they need to take them down.
And what I like about Bloody Heads, Neptune, is that their winning mentality here for each game, even if they lose members while in game, going at the end of the game, what they did, especially in the last Kalahari match, if you remember, Morgana trying to go for that healing game. That winning mentality means a lot for Bloody Heads, and that's why they're on top of the leaderboards as we are going straight to Kalahari match here. I think we're gonna do some shoutcasting here with Kuku TV, right, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have you back in here on a shoutcasting desk, but we'll have to find out if this is where Bloody Head wins this again, and hopefully you can stand by my side. And until such time, that probably beef will be coming back on us. Now, speaking of Kalahari, we have in here the heated map, the desert of Kalahari, wherein the teams will be going in on the final match. The teams are already spread out around this map, and like what we keep saying, it is a high ground that needs to be their advantage to be able to snipe down, and those verticalities give them that win.
Definitely, and especially if the circle goes right at Refinery, Neptune, the Refinery area does have a lot of those platforms, and they use them a lot. All of these players use that a lot for the verticality, as we see here. Some of the teams already right over there, as we are switching from one player to another here. Neptune, I'm kind of going confused on which one to call out. But anyways, I'm filling in the shoes of Beef Mommy. Hopefully she's doing fine right now at her location. Right now we see Kalasagu's next on one of these platforms in Refinery. It's actually the sub, as we are talking about right now, Myth, Funky, and the gang. What do you think? I mean, Neptune, with the circle sometimes really goes into that those platform areas. Is that a consistent circle? I mean, since you've been casting for like a few days now here in the Free Fire Philippines Open.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really consistent. It doesn't always end up on the platform. The thing is, those who are waiting in the platform, yes, they had the advantage of the high ground. Unfortunately, they get less skills compared to the others because they have to wait. They have to wait for the rest to move in. And at some point, if they will be left outside of the circle, especially on the final one, and a lot of teams are just waiting for them, they will be jumping off, and some not lucky enough to jump off safely. They just die to their death, and hopefully some members of their teams will be able to pick them up.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we see here Kalazagu's next, just trying to loot around the sub right now. And the sub, which is it's actually a submarine, Neptune. It is way up above. I haven't seen that type of scenario where in a submarine is not on a water, is not inside the water. So this kind of a huge submarine to loot here in FFPO. But again, Kalasagu's next. They're really trying. This team is really trying to actually fight against these top tier teams here in groups B and C. And I've seen them going for that sniping shot previously in Purgatory. Now we switch back here to the team BB Desolators and Fear No One.
Yeah, here we go. We have Fear No One right now. Earlier, they were just waiting in here on high ground. This is the same position that they had earlier. And one thing that is different for sure is they have another team near them. It is BB Desolator. BB Desolator is going in for the flank on the side, but it's a good thing Prince was able to spot them early on, and a few members didn't stay here too high up. A few are just there below them, because this is where, if I'm not mistaken, that is where they were taken down early, as they have to wait and jump out. But right now we have a TFTI. Thanks for the info right now. Going in for the rush, and Will's right there up Noines Forte taking down Tinker and Patata. And we have a Preach right there trying to go in for the defense, and Yappy backing off a little bit. Preach is in trouble as Alforte and the rest of the gang of Wills will be going in for the rush, and they will be stuck in here in this corner. Hopefully Preach will not be spotted in here. Oh, Club in there really didn't check the corner and just missed Preach, as Preach is just healing up. Now we have one more member of Wheels right now just above them, but the creepy member Preach in there is just moving slowly as not to be detected. Yappy is already a long gun in here on this fight, and who might be the last surviving member of Thanks for the Info if Preach will be taken down.
And that was a really cute scene there, wherein he's just hiding at the corner. There's not much of any cover. He didn't even use a glue wall to actually get himself covered up. He's just waited and prayed to the gods of Free Fire that he actually will get not seen by Team Wells. But now look at him right now. They're running away from the maze and trying to go for the objectives because, again, looks like the circle is not in their vicinity right now. Neptune, that was a really nice highlight there for Thanks for the Info. I mean, it's just hide and seek, you know what I mean, and then
Yeah.
you didn't get seen. It's kind of like those horror movies that we usually see in the movies, right?
Yeah, I mean, if in case Preach was too quick in pulling up a glue wall, that might have been the end of him. But here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, Preach once again being
Oh,
being
no, but
surrounded by Wills, and
Ooh,
there you go. We have
ooh,
Alforte
Alforte!
right now in there, and the glue wall has been put down, and Preach was able to survive that day. Now it's now a 1v4. Inhaler will be used to get a little bit of health, but there you go. Preach right now will be surrounded, and Alforte will be
Oh.
going for the kill. Shotgun gameplay, and there you go. Yappy's the only one remaining for Thanks for the Info.
And like what we have mentioned, it's kind of like those horror movies wherein you're just hiding inside a room, and then all of a sudden you'll get found. And what a nice way to actually start off this Kalahari match, wherein you see someone chasing someone, as Yappy is already now on a vehicle here trying to escape. And this is a smart decision for Thanks for the Info for Yappy, because again, if he stayed where Preach was at, I mean, for him to cover Preach, they might get eliminated early. Again, you're gonna talk about risking the placement points here, as we see here the rankings after or for match number 5 only, guys, as Bloody Heads leading the way with 23 points. Now we see here SNR, and I think that's Kalasag who's next. On the other side, Daryl is just waiting for the right time, as Myth actually will get hit from above.
Yeah, there you go. And Myth, this is the one usually standing by from above on that sniper, probably on the lookout for the rest of the team. And Kalasagu's next, who was in engagement earlier, will be backed off on this corner, and the UAV will be released, trying to check on who will be in there for this fight. But who's next right now is just waiting for anyone who will be going in for this fight. So at the edge of the circle, they need to be on their toes. Otherwise, they will be stuck in here and nowhere to go as they go into the fight. Now, Kalasag, who's next right now, is just waiting for that chance to move closer in the middle of their circle. No one has been spotted with that UAV, and all they have to do is run by. But if you look on the west of the map, guys, there are 4 teams already in there. Actually, 5 teams already in there. And Wills, with only 3 members left on their team, they are going in for the drop and will have to go down south in there on the side of subs before they go into the circle. Otherwise, they will be going against WLV Imbalance as well as WTS Tyrants, who you don't want to be messing with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be back. Hello yet again. I was just gone for a little bit just because the matchup from that last game number 5 was just too intense and my internet just wanted to give up. But then it is a new dawn. It is a new day. It seems to be like there's still 11 teams over here. As you guys know, if you are wondering why there's only 11, number 1 seems to be like they're not going to be in the mood to play. So sadly, just 11 teams right now. So fear no one. Having such a struggle in the competition so far seems to be like they need to find their footing. And just like that, it's going to be Saf going up against Fear No One. Oh, it's going to be very hard right now. Fear No One seems to be like they are going to be basically giving free kills for the side of Saf. And, you know, they're basically playing a little bit passive, and that's really good for them. But too passive, that's where you actually don't get to have a lot of those kill points that you need to have in order to get into that top 12. You already know that that top 12 is going to be the coveted spot that you actually want to go with. And for Fear No One, being in that rank number 15, they need to climb up the ranks of just 3 tiers. And it's basically Saf taking a lot of these shots, knowing that Fear No One is actually going to be there. And it's going to be very hard for McRory. He's going to be actually going in there for the kill, the aggression, really going in there for bids as well. Let's go, though, does go down. Oh my goodness, Fear No One is actually doing a lot of the engagements right now.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Fear No One was able to go in for those shots, and on the other side we have a Bloody Heads right now also going in for the battle. This is Bloody Heads going against Desolator, BB Desolator, and they have their sights on Fear No One on the other side, so they are too close to each other right now. 4 teams in here battling it out. Bloody Heads still a full squad. We have Fear No One on the right, and we have BB Desolators on their left. They really can't decide who to shoot from. To shoot at, but right now hopefully hopefully Bloody Heads will be able to decide and take down a full squad in there for them to be able to breathe easy on this fight.
Yeah, hopefully they're actually going to be able to get through everything that they're actually going to be, raining down over here. That's basically bullets going in their side. It's actually not going to be looking good right now for the side of Bloody Heads, just because Desolators really want to have that win. But not only that, there's so many squads that's actually surrounding them right now, and I think I'm not really quite sure, just because everything's a little bit pixelated on my end. But here we go. The danger zone is going to be going up against Bloody Heads, having the curse of that Schnauzer team that we actually saw from Group A. Yep, the curse of the Schnauzer, just because they always have the unlucky spot of getting into that danger zone. Right now, Fear No One is going to be against them as well. So there's 3 teams right now. It's going to be Bloody Heads, Fear No One, and Desolators.
Yeah, indeed. And we haven't heard or got sights of Saf. Oh, there you go. Saf is also in there. So this is actually 4 teams, because Saf was stalking Fear No One earlier, and then we just saw Bloody Heads go in the fight against VB Desolator. So we'll just have to wait. Who will budge at this point? Who will stand out in the open and probably bait someone or just take shots against everyone? And apart from VB Desolators, we also have Wheels joining the party. So this might be the 5th team who are in here, and thanks for the info, Yappy is not too far. So there's a lot of teams in here already, and we are just on the 3rd circle going into 4th, Beef.
Yep, 3rd circle going into the 4th, but then we can already see here, it's basically going to be chaos mixing in right now. It's going to be a lot of gunfight ensuing in just a little bit. The absolute war zone over here, and if I were some of these teams, I would probably want to back out, just because this is not going to be a really nice spot to be in. There's so many colors you can see here. There's so many teams. Basically, Desolators are going to be surrounded by a lot of these teams, but then does one go down? Will he finally get the job? Hive really does a lot of these damage, but then doesn't quite get it. But then the pickup does need to go in for the side of Wheels right now. Doesn't quite get the pickup though. Needs to be able to actually go in safely for them to actually be able to get that pickup.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we have oh, what a hit in there, VPH. It's Retus in there who went in and shot Hive right in the face. I just saw the blood. I think I felt it a little bit on my face. But here we have Desolator here picking up Hive, and a few of the teams are in here also taking shots at them. So it's a really dangerous spot for VB Desolator to be in the middle. But there goes WLV Vanity right now being tossed that grenade and being knocked down. And there goes Ninja for that finishing touches. We have Maude in there taking down one of Fear No One. It is Iceman right there, and the battle is on. WLV imbalance. Roz will be left in the middle of the feud of Bloody Heads and the Saf, as Fear No One right now will be stuck on this tower being shot at by Morgana at this point.
Taking a lot of shots right now. Morgana's basically raining some fire and some hell over to the point where they might not even recover. That is a very, very nice pressure on the side of Morgana. You already know that if Fear No One does get eliminated, Morgana finally puts a nail in the coffin right now for Fear No One. And right now we're going to be seeing Bloody Heads yet again, causing havoc for everyone that actually comes their way. Morgana spots a lot of more people over here. Tyra's going to be in a very tricky situation. The glue walls is going to be the only ones that actually will be able to save them.
Yeah, there is nowhere to go in there from the side of Double TS Tyrants because they're stuck in there. Only the blue walls saving them, and shoot and run on their side will be hit with that rocket or grenade launcher from the side of Kalasag. Who's next? VPH in the middle of the map as we have Kalasag. Who's next on the left? We have Saf in there on the right, and WLB Imbalance will be stuck in between. Ross right now together with another member will be in there trying to move slowly into the circle. Hopefully they'll be able to survive this, but from the north we have BB Desolator as well. I think they're not joining the party just yet. They're just peeking and taking shot, but here comes Cruz right there going in for those shots, but it is BBH in there who will be going for the elimination, and there you go. Thanks for the info. We'll be taken out in here, and Maute right now is just riding freely on this fight. We have Alforte in there going for the kill against Tyrants, and I thought this is Bloody Heads who will be going in against Tyrants, but there you go. Tyrants is now down, and Maute will be knocked down from this fight as well.
Tyrants just had such bad positioning. The only way that they were actually able to win that if the team was actually going to be able to be distracted. WLB Imbalance yet again eliminated so early on, and Saf seems to be like they're on a roll yet again, but then just having one person down is going to be so difficult on their end. And I wish that I could actually see whose names this is, but I'm basically just seeing pixels on the screen right now, but it's okay. Doesn't matter because we have Neptune to tell me which teams are still left.
Yes, we still have 6 teams remaining in this fight. Battle from Saf in here is going on. Alforte was able to go in for that Quadra, and we have in here Bloody Heads, followed by Who's Next being taken down. Let's go in here on the upper right is moving slowly, Inhaler in hand, and there you go. The circle is getting smaller and smaller. I think Let's Go is going for the healing gameplay, but there's only a few in here left in the middle, and we'll have to find out, guys. We didn't see at that last moment. It is VPH Velocity who took this booyah this time. Ratu together with Janelle, Insane, and Carpi surviving that pandemonium at this point, Beef.
Oh, that was such a nice way to end. And knowing that Velocity actually struggled there just a little bit was so important for them. And we already said a while ago in Kalahari, they actually kind of struggled having like 3 games having that 0 kills and having only just 1 game having 8 kills. So finally having that first booyah for them over here in Kalahari is so important, and that's basically going to change their tier.
Yeah, definitely the win or the booyah is really so that important for VPH Velocity. And welcome back again, Beef here. I basically shoutcasted like maybe 1/4 of the game, but you you did continued everything else, so that's really nice of us. So for that match, even Neptune didn't really know who won at that point, but we actually now know who won it. It is VPH Velocity, and again, it is an important match for them because it is only just 1 day left after this. 1 day left for the league stages, so only 6 more matches left for these groups, and this will give them the booster for the scoreboard for the total overall standings here in this league stage. And I'm so excited now with what is the overall standings here for all of these teams that have played today for Group B and C. And we saw I like the scene earlier, Neptune, where we saw Yappy and Preach just trying to hide from the enemies. So I really love that. We will see that once the highlights will actually play. And right now, guys, so 6 matches has been done. So that is it basically for today. But for the here is now the highlight, so we could actually look back here. So first off, we see thanks for the info here at the maze together with Team Govilam Wells. And this is where Preach was just hiding at the corner, but he got seen there and he got obliterated there by Alforte, and Yappy is just running away to save the placement for the team. Fear no one. Still struggling here as Hive gets the headshot there. So nice headshot for the other team. And now we see here Bloody Heads just pressuring Fear no one at that tower. And Bloody Heads, as usual, just giving them a hard time. And now we see here at this final circle, there's so much glue walls just put in. There's so much cover, and VPH Velocity got this this tower that they really needed. Just put in every single glue wall that they can. Defended it really well here against Team Wells, Team VB Desolators, and there you would see here the final circle. It shrinks as VPH Velocity wins it. So Beef, how's your internet now?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's internet is a little bit crazy, but you know what? It's something that we're just used to in this particular country, but it's okay. We always pull through somehow. It's a good thing I was able to actually come back. But yeah, I came back to such intensity already. I was already surprised that, oh my gosh, we're already halfway through Kalahari, and I wasn't really sure to who's gonna be winning. Actually, that Kalahari map, that was like what you guys mentioned a while ago. I wasn't sure who was gonna win just because everyone was just doing such a great job. So for a moment there, I actually thought that Saf was going to be winning that as well, but it's a good thing that Velocity finally pulled through, and here we go, that first booyah for the day for VPH Velocity, and I'm so impressed with what they've had to offer today.
Yeah, so impressive indeed. We have VPH Velocity here. Only for match number 6, guys. This is not the overall standing, so VPH Velocity getting 18 total points. Next to them is Kalasag, who's next with 15. They got the highest kill count for this match. And going at third, Wells, Gavilan Wells with 14. Got 7 placement rather, and then 7 kill points. And then we have VB Desolators together with Saf Detwish. Each has 11 points. And then 8 points for Bloody Heads. As usual, getting those points into their scoreboard. WLV Balance, Team Tyrants, thanks for the info. Shoot and Run, Fear No One, and Number One still struggling. So they need to really improve because, again, we're done with all the 5 days. We're down to one last day for tomorrow, which is going to be the 6 final maps for the league stages. And again, it's going to be a different group, by the way, for tomorrow. But anyways, guys, for our overall standings, here are now your scores. Bloody Head getting that rank number 1 over AV Ligers. But most definitely, guys, I mean, AV Ligers will definitely get this one. Right, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to find out. I think the reason why Bloody Head just invested so much on today's fight, because by tomorrow, they won't be playing, so they need to a little bit put themselves up top in there, at least to end up for the top 12 place.
Yeah, definitely. And Saf Detwish getting more points now since they didn't really play yesterday, and I think they will play the final day tomorrow together with Group A, and they get 231 points at third. So I think it's going to be a really close battle between AV Ligers and Saf Detwish with that rank number 1 spot here in the league stage. And then we still have here Tyrants with 211 points. So we are not just looking at these 2 teams, which is AV and Saf Detwish. We're looking also at other teams that might possibly get that rank number 1. So it is still a possibility. Also, same goes with Team Wells. VB Desolators also with 190 points here at 6th. Team Almighty with 187. PXG Radicals 182. 177 for Kalasagu's next. Trot Legend 157. VPH Velocity 136. Shoot and Run with 135. WLV Imbalance with 121, 117 for Team Schnauzer. Fear No One with 111. Kiss Mumu with 94 points. Thanks for the info with 81 points. And Team Number 1, I think Team Number 1 is not really moving at all with that 28 points today. That's kind of unfortunate for them. So hopefully Number 1 can try to, get some points up for the next few games that we still have. But again, here are the Booyah winners of the day. We have Bloody Head, Team Wolves, Tyrant, Saf, and we have Velocity at the final one. So it is kind of the same as from yesterday, right? Neptune, we got like 2 teams who got 2 Booyahs.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same, though it's in a different order. But hopefully, we'll see more teams in there, especially in the map recap. Tomorrow is a different day, and tomorrow will be a different set of teams. Now, talking about number one, we still are not sure in there as to what happened to them because they haven't been playing for the few matches. So hopefully they're okay, and if they still have their what it gets to play for the upcoming matches for them. Hopefully they'll be back.
Yeah, they'll be back for good year. But for the meantime, for tomorrow, guys, so we still have one more day for our league stage, and it's going to be Group A and C. So I think this is going to be a really good day for us. We have Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari for match 1, 2, and 3, and then for match 4, 5, and 6, it is going to be Bermuda, Purgatory, and Kalahari. It's kind of much the same as the previous days, right? It is going to be the same time as we start off at 1500, going until 1730. Guys, it's been a blast here for Group B and C. Beef, any thoughts from Group B, since I think this is their last day for them to play in the league stage?
Yeah, Group B just absolutely blew my mind. Honestly, every other group had a team really shine so. And right now, for the side of, I think it was a Bloody Heads, just giving an absolute run for their money, really going up to the top and having that top position. They're basically comfortable. They can do whatever they want. The same as AB Ligers as well. They're basically in that top 12 spot, really that without any doubt. And for the same as for the side of SAF, they're really safe. So I think the teams that really need to pull through are the teams that are coming in from that number 9th to probably 14th spot. That can shuffle as much as they can, especially 6 maps tomorrow going through. So basically what they need to do is just get a lot of these points because it's basically do or die tomorrow.
Yeah, it is do or die tomorrow. Any final thoughts here, Neptune, for group? Actually, I wanna ask you about your thoughts for Group A and C for tomorrow.
Yeah, for Group A and C, well, we're still looking forward to see more teams moving up the ranks, especially that Group B, the scores that they have, especially after this day, is already fixed. So they'll be able to calculate how much points they have to gather to be able to get that top 12 spot. Now, if they cannot deliver, if they cannot commit on that, at least hopefully they have enjoyed their stay in here. The last 6 days that we've been playing, and if they consistently went in on the bottom part of the map, hopefully they're just enjoying the game and the opportunity of being on this league stages.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like what you said, their score is already fixed. So they're probably just hoping and praying in their boot camps right now, or in their rooms where they play Free Fire, and just hoping that they won't go down the ranks. But most definitely, again, like what I said before, AV Ligers will definitely get that top number 1 again. But it's going to be a really tough battle here because, again, Saf Deathwish is lurking around the area here in the scoreboard. So, guys, I think this is it for us. It's been, again, like what I said, a blast here for Group B and C. And it's been a blast here in the Philippines as well. So I hope you guys here in the Philippines, I hope you stay safe. Again, follow the protocol still. Again, we are still in the pandemic. So please stay safe, guys. Also for you, Beef, please stay safe there since your internet is going in and out. But anyways, guys, again, good night to everybody, guys. My name is Kuku TV, your host. Again, we have Beef here together with Neptune, the Gentleman Gaming. Good night, everybody, guys. See you tomorrow.
in there, taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan Vigilantes, not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalatan, who's next, is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Feared having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lapre seeing them finally try to see. We actually get another one. Here we go. Gets the kills. Finally getting.
Free Fire!
Barba in there, taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan Vigilantes, not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalatan, who's next, is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lapre seeing them finally try to see. We actually get another one. Here we go. Gets the kills. Finally getting.
Free Fire.
Barba in there taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan Vigilantes and not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalatadu's next is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving to it's going to be a full squad that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lapre seeing them finally tries to see if he actually get another one. Here we go. Gets the kill. Finally getting.
Free Fire.
taking down and eliminating Shin. Sanity right now taking Dan. Vigilantes not looking good.
Actually do that as Kalatan, who's next, is going to get a little bit of a tricky situation here. Proving it's going to be a full stun that is going to penetrate through the wall.
By Fear No One having no fear, will they be able to take the win? And there you go.
Outskirts of the wall, but they have 0 kills so far. And right now, here we go. Lafred seeing them finally try to see. We actually get another one. Here we go.